Chapter 26. The magic-breaking gun shot down quickly, accurately hitting Zhao Donghai's forehead, and the mask instantly fell into pieces. With strong penetrating power, the spear penetrated through, leaving a huge hole. Zhao Donghai remained motionless, slowly falling down, stirring up a large cloud of dust. Until his death, he could not figure out that Ye Feng was taking the college entrance examination more than 10 days ago, and his performance was only slightly better than other candidates, but he was far from being a pervert. Today, more than 10 days later, at this moment, I actually have the ability to kill him instantly. Even if this instant kill was due to surprise, even if it were a head-on fight, he had no chance of winning. Because, this is a Soul Master. Soul Master, invincible at the same level, reasonable for higher levels. Receive. The demon-breaking gun turned into energy again and was put into Ye Feng's mind. The first time he used the Soul Master's ability, the lethality was huge, and Ye Feng himself was also very surprised. He searched Zhao Donghai and found several bank cards. If you don't know the password, you can't withdraw the money, it's just like a scrap of paper. What's more, even if you get it, it's best not to take it. Once the money is withdrawn, the surveillance footage of the withdrawal becomes evidence. If Zhao Donghai is found dead in the future, he will not be able to escape suspicion. The security department just doesn't have much energy to investigate all murder cases, but it doesn't mean that they will sit idly by and ignore the murder cases that come to their doorsteps. This sword is good. You can sell it on the black market for a good price. Blackwater Valley is the best black market. Ye Feng took the sword and returned to Blackwater Valley without entering from the previous entrance. Blackwater Valley is quite large, with several entrances. Entering from the new entrance, it is quite a distance from the place where the 3 evil men of the Ma family were killed just now. No one here recognized Ye Feng. He sold the sword on the black market for 500,000 yuan and left Blackwater Valley. There was a car when I came, but not when I came back. But it doesn't matter, with Ye Feng's speed, he can run back. Finally, he returned to the provincial capital smoothly. In the Pearl Villa district, Villa number 108, I met Lin Tianxiang. Is there anything unclear about coming back so soon? If I had known that we would have left our contact information, we wouldn't have had to make this trip in vain. This is indeed an oversight on my part. When they first met, Ye Feng didn't say anything, but Lin Tianxiang just said it. By the way, where are the 3 brothers, Dragon, Tiger, and Leopard? Lin Tianxiang discovered that only Ye Feng came back. Oh. I understand, you want to cancel the mission and let the 3 of them, Dragon, Tiger and Leopard, carry out the mission, right? He said this euphemistically, but what he actually thought in his heart was that Ye Feng finally realized that he was not strong enough, so he regretted it and came back first. The 3 of them are dead. Ye Feng's brief words made Lin Tianxiang jump up in surprise. What? Dead, dead? After taking a deep breath, his mood eased slightly, and he asked, what happened? What does it mean to be dead? The 3 evil men of the Ma family have hidden their strength from the outside world. Ye Feng said simply. The 3 dragons, tigers, and leopards were beaten to death. Ye Feng said half-truthfully. Then how can you come back safely? Lin Tianxiang wondered. Because I beat the 3 evildoers of the Ma family to death. Ye Feng said calmly. Lin Tianxiang's computer went down again and he almost thought he heard wrongly. Ye Feng pressed his tactical watch and played the video of killing 3 people. After reading it, Lin Tianxiang was speechless for a long time. Finally, he took a deep look at Ye Feng. New student? Kill the general? If these 2 pieces of information are put together, they may seem contradictory. But with the video as evidence, he couldn't believe it, so he had to boil it down to the fact that there are always a few geniuses in the world who are incomprehensible. Lin Tianxiang operated online in front of Ye Feng and submitted a request that the task had been completed by Ye Feng. After passing the review, the credits will be awarded to Ye Feng. This mission has been successfully completed and it's time to go back. Lin Tianxiang also wanted to persuade Ye Feng to stay for a meal. Mainly because he saw that Ye Feng was powerful and had great potential, so he wanted to please him. But Ye Feng refused. I was in a hurry to go back, wait for the credits to arrive, and go to the collection pavilion to open the treasure chest. I didn't have time to stay for dinner. Walk slowly. With a smile on his face, Lin Tianxiang saw Ye Feng off from the villa area. Looking at Ye Feng's leaving figure, Lin Tianxiang murmured in a low voice, in the near future, the name Ye Feng will definitely become a household name, and he will definitely have a place among the ranks of big shots. Master, he is so young, is he as powerful as you said? A nearby security guard asked, scratching his head. Lin Tianxiang glanced at him lightly, there are so many questions, just keep an eye on your door. Yes. The security guard nodded and bowed. Ye Feng returned to Longteng Academy. I just received the reminder that the task was completed and the credits were received. Using the tactical watch to surf the internet, you can check your personal credits, which is 1000 yuan, no more, no less. Open the treasure chest immediately. Ye Feng walked towards the collection pavilion. The news of Ye Feng's return was quickly learned by Zhao Xiang. Why can you come back? Zhao Xiang couldn't figure it out. Dealing with the three evils of the Ma family has exceeded the limit of Ye Feng's abilities. And after Ye Feng set off, he immediately contacted his uncle Zhao Donghai and informed him of the information. Zhao Donghai hated Ye Feng and wanted to take revenge for a long time. It was impossible that he would not take action. But why can Ye Feng come back alive and well? No, I have to ask about the situation. Zhao Xiang immediately contacted Zhao Donghai. As a result, no one answered. I continued to call a few times and the same thing happened. Zhao Xiang frowned, is there something urgent? He could only guess like this, but he didn't dare to have the slightest idea that Zhao Donghai had been killed. Are you kidding me? With his uncle's late military strength, how could Ye Feng be able to kill him? In front of his uncle, Ye Feng was just like a baby just learning to walk. In addition to being abused, he was still abused. At this time, the eyeliner called him. Brother Xiang, in the mission hall, the mission Kill the Three Evils of the Ma family has been completed. The person who completed the mission is none other than Ye Feng. What? Zhao Xiang jumped up in shock. Where did he get this ability? Cheating. It must be cheating. I'm going to the Jiffa hall to sue him. Ye Feng came to the collection pavilion. You can come and go, it will on the first floor. There are many students and acquaintances there. Ye Feng, you come here too. Sun Rong saw Ye Feng and greeted him with a smile. He seems to have endless snacks, and he is still eating them. Well, let's take a look. Ye Feng responded with a smile. With that said, he walked towards the elevator door on the second floor. That's the elevator on the second floor. We can't get up. I tried it. You need to swipe your student card first and check that you have more than 1000 credits. Then the elevator door will open. The more Sun Rong spoke, the softer his voice became, and his eyes grew wider. What did he see? He saw Ye Feng take out his student card and swipe it. Beep. The elevator door opened. Ye Feng walked in and the elevator door closed again. Sun Rong. Chapter 27. Ye Feng entered the elevator and reached the second floor smoothly. There are not many people on the second floor and it is much quieter. There are rows of shelves lined with secret books. Only by opening the book and redeeming it with credits can you get the full copy. They were concentrating on selecting secret books, and no one paid attention to Ye Feng's arrival. Ye Feng seemed to be selecting secret books, but he was actually following the green arrows on the ground. Come to the fifth row, close to the inside. A green treasure box was placed quietly inside. Ye Feng finally discovered that the color of high-quality treasure chests was darker than that of non-high-quality treasure chests. I touched the treasure chest with anticipation. Snap! You opened a green, high-quality, treasure box. Congratulations on obtaining, the third-level soul skill Blood Spear Shura has been successfully comprehended, 4500 cards of energy and blood. Merge. Suddenly, a lot of insights filled Ye Feng's mind. At the same time, a picture emerged in Ye Feng's mind. A bloody spear exuded a coquettish crimson color, as if it had just been fished out of a pool of blood. The spear swept across the wasteland. Wherever it passed, there was a Shura scene of a mountain of corpses and a sea of blood. The picture ends here, and Ye Feng has just finished integrating his feelings. The scene just now is what it looks like when the Blood Spear Shura soul skill is used. Ye Feng was excited. With the soul skills, the combat effectiveness has once again been raised to another level. After 4500 calories of qi and blood are integrated into the body, Ye Feng's total qi and blood reaches an astonishing 11,000 calories. The realm of qi and blood warriors has reached the early stage of military commander. Just add another 1000 cards to advance to the mid-term. Ye Feng's upgrade speed is unparalleled. It's almost the same every day. Let me see if there is anything I can redeem here. If the credits are redeemed, it will not affect your future promotion to senior students. As long as you earn a total of 10,000 credits, regardless of whether you spend them or not, you can apply to be promoted to a senior student. Luo Hua Sword Technique, Level 2, 800 credits. Autumn Rain Sword Technique, Level 2, 1000 credits. After looking at it for a while, Ye Feng shook his head. The second-level secret books displayed on the second floor are all second-level secret books. For Ye Feng, there is no need to learn the second-level secret books. After all, he is already a military commander. If he wants to learn, he must also learn the third level. Then it will not be exchanged, and the credits will be kept for now. Ye Feng simply went downstairs. As soon as he walked out of the elevator, Sun Rong blocked the door. It is estimated that he has been staying here since just now, waiting for Ye Feng to come down. Ye Feng, why can you go to the second floor? He also looked around, then lowered his voice, have you discovered any loopholes that can evade the credit test? After hearing this, Ye Feng smiled dumbly and simply swiped his student card again in front of Sun Rong. Beep. Student, Ye Feng. Credits, 1000. Seeing the 2 lines of data on the small screen, Sun Rong's eyes, which were small because of his obesity, suddenly widened. 1000. You have 1000 credits. Where did this come from? He sounded extremely surprised. Of course it's a mission. Before Ye Feng finished speaking, he was interrupted by the leader of a group of people who came in a hurry. Of course he came here by cheating. Everyone from Jifa Hall, this person is Ye Feng, the new student who just entered school yesterday. He received a high-paying and difficult task, but it only took him half a day to complete it. I seriously doubt that he hired experts outside. The purpose of completing it for him is to earn credits quickly. Zhao Xiang added. He had just learned that Ye Feng had completed the task, so he suspected that Ye Feng had cheated. Thinking that he had caught Ye Feng, he immediately went to Jifa Hall to complain. Jifa Hall is the place where Longteng Academy handles incidents that violate school rules. The members inside are composed of 2 parts, the law enforcers and the judges. The law enforcers were the team called by Zhao Xiang at this time and prepared to take away Ye Feng. They are basically held by old students, and the requirements are relatively strict. First, they must have good abilities, and secondly, they must have good character, have been in school for more than 2 years, and have not violated school rules. If they act as law enforcers, they will be less likely to conflict with students and escalate the incident. The judges are some mentors who also have high requirements. They must be fair and just and consider the facts. They are responsible for investigating the authenticity of the incident and making the final judgment. Junior Ye Feng, please come with us to the Jifa Hall to investigate this matter clearly. If you are wronged, we will definitely give you justice. A law enforcer with a square face said in a calm tone. Did he report it? Ye Feng pointed at Zhao Xiang and asked. Yes. The square-faced law enforcer nodded. Zhao Xiang smiled triumphantly, with an expression that said, you're in trouble now. Then if the final result proves that I was wronged, how should I deal with people who report others at will without evidence and cause a waste of human resources? Ye Feng then asked. TCH. You're the only one who's still unjust. Zhao Xiang answered quickly. The law enforcer said slowly, if this is the case, the whistleblower will be punished. The specific verdict is the responsibility of the trial instructor. We don't know this. Okay. Lead the way. Ye Feng didn't panic at all and followed them to Jifa Hall. Jifa Hall is located in the middle of the school. The entire building is white and looks solemn and solemn. The person in charge of Ye Feng's matter was a man with a goatee. After listening to both sides' stories, he called up Ye Feng's mission record. There was only a few hours between the time of collection and the time of completion. Most of these hours were probably spent on the road. It can be said that there was not much time left to carry out the task. After reading the mission introduction and Ye Feng's new identity, the two really don't match. Only a few of the freshmen who just joined yesterday have received tasks, but the tasks done by others are in line with their strength. Only Ye Feng completed a task that was extremely difficult for him. But this is a combat video during a mission. It was indeed completed by him. At that time, Lin Tianxiang wanted to submit the task completion and asked Ye Feng for the battle video as evidence that Ye Feng had completed the task. At this time, the goatee instructor called up the video for everyone to see. In the picture, Ye Feng decapitated Ma Laosan with one stroke of his sword, with a clean and neat movement. Another scene, two people fighting alone. He quickly seized the opportunity and beheaded Ma Laoer. His sword skills were ever-changing and hard to guard against. Until the end, Boss Ma was killed without any suspense. Video playback ends. So strong. Is this a new student? The law enforcers who brought Ye Feng over looked at Ye Feng in surprise. They thought that this was just an ordinary cheating incident, and it had not happened before. Unexpectedly, this new student really did it, and it was indeed his task. And the strength displayed is also impressive. Instructor Goatee also looked at Ye Feng in surprise, and even reconfirmed Ye Feng's information. He was really a freshman this year, and he had read correctly just now. How is this possible? How is this possible? Zhao Xiang couldn't believe it. How could Ye Feng complete this task and kill him so easily? If you don't just look at the video and feel the atmosphere like you are on the spot, it would be difficult to judge the specific strength of the characters. Otherwise, it would be even more difficult for him to believe it if he learned that Boss Ma was actually an early-stage military commander. Teacher, now it has been proven that I am innocent and did not cheat. So what should I do with someone like him who maliciously slanders, accuses, and reports me? Ye Feng pursues the victory and will definitely not let Zhao Xiang go easily. No. You must still have cheated. I didn't frame you. Before Goatee instructor could open his mouth, Zhao Xiang beat him to it. The video only has a first-person perspective, and you have not shown your face in it, so the person in the battle video may not be you. Chapter 28. So, I have reason to suspect that the person in the battle video is not you, but the master you hired at a high price to complete the task for you. It is equivalent to you paying for this video to complete the task. I can even conclude that you were just pretending to leave the school. You were actually wandering around somewhere, and then asked the experts hired in advance to help you kill the 3 evil men of the Ma family. After the killing, the video was transmitted to you. That's it. I mean, you were able to complete the task so quickly. Is it really so smooth? It turns out that we hired experts, so it will definitely go well. Zhao Xiang became more and more enthusiastic as he talked, feeling that all the inferences he made were very reasonable. Do you have evidence? Don't you know that whoever suspects has to provide evidence? You can't infer guilt. Ye Feng asked several rhetorical questions in a row. Zhao Xiang was speechless for a moment and was speechless when asked. You must have cheated anyway, unless you can prove that you really have this ability. Zhao Xiang started to mess around. Scoff. Why do I need to prove my strength? Ye Feng retorted, even if self-certification is indeed very simple, but if you say self-certification, I have to prove myself? You are an egg. Ye Feng was almost certain that Zhao Donghai was so well informed that it was Zhao Xiang who tipped him off to intercept and kill him in Blackwater Valley. Fortunately, he still has the status of a soul master, otherwise he would really be in trouble. This Zhao Xiang was already considered an enemy. Before he could cause trouble for him, he started to cause trouble for himself instead. On the contrary, it belongs to Tian Gang. The more you dare not prove yourself, the more problematic you are. I am in the early stage of a military commander, do you dare to fight with me? As long as you can get a tie, it proves that you are capable of completing the task. Zhao Xiang is aggressive. Early stage of military general? Ye Feng smiled. It can only be a draw? Can't I hurt you? Ye Feng said jokingly. Zhao Xiang was stunned for a moment, then laughed loudly, hurt me? Haha, of course you can do it if you have the ability. We can sign up for a ring battle, and you won't be held responsible if you get injured, and you can even place a credit bet. The so-called arena battle is set up by the school to encourage students to compete. Warriors need to grow in battle, and you cannot become strong just by practicing. If you sign a ring agreement, you can have a legal battle. As long as you don't beat people to death or maim them, no one will hold you accountable afterwards. If the two parties do not sign the ring agreement and arrange a private fight, the school will consider it a fight, which is a violation of school rules. The so-called disability refers to injuries that cannot be recovered, such as missing arms and legs, etc., which are classified as disabled. If you are just injured, no matter how long it takes to recover, as long as you can recover, you are not considered disabled. Humph, as long as you dare to agree, I want you to taste what it's like to stay in bed for a month. Zhao Xiang thought to himself. When it comes to the ring agreement, it's already him. Later, it was also proposed that credits could be used to place bets, which was a further attempt to lure Ye Feng into the trap with credits. Credits can be exchanged for various cheats, which is very attractive to any student. Okay, I'll sign with you, but it's up to me to decide how many credits to bet. Ye Feng responded. I was still worried about how to earn 10,000 credits quickly. Unexpectedly, this guy came to my door and wanted to make a lot of money from him this time. You can bet up to 5,000 credits. How many do you want? Zhao Xiang asked. Up to 5,000? It turns out there are restrictions. Thinking about it, the school is just to encourage students to fight, not to encourage gambling, so there will definitely be restrictions. But 5,000 credits is quite a lot. That's 5,000, but I only have 1,000 credits now. Can this bet be established? Ye Feng is afraid that no matter how much he bets, he needs to have this amount, because the rules need to consider that if he loses, the person has the ability to compensate. It can be established, as long as your opponent agrees, then I agree. Anyway, after signing the agreement, you can't keep the debt. You can slowly earn back the 4,000 you owe me. Those who didn't know what Zhao Xiang said that he had already won. In his heart, he really never considered losing. Are you kidding? In his early stage as a powerful military commander, will he lose? No one will lose to a freshman who only knows how to cheat. The two entered the official campus website, selected the arena agreement, and then signed it. The bet is 5,000 credits, and the fight will start at noon tomorrow at the competition hall. After verifying their identity, the signature was successful. At this moment, Zhao Xiang smiled crookedly. He didn't expect that Ye Feng would really fall into the trap. Tomorrow, not only can he earn 5,000 credits, but he can also teach Ye Feng a lesson, killing two birds with one stone. From then on, Ye Feng became his slave. Every credit earned will be automatically transferred to repay the debt until the remaining 4,000 is paid off. For a freshman, it takes a long time to perform tasks normally and earn thousands of credits. After repaying the debt, accumulating 10,000 credits, and being promoted to a senior student, it would be a huge delay without knowing how long it takes. What if Ye Feng doesn't earn credits? It's okay, Ye Feng has been unable to graduate and has no future. No matter what, he could already foresee Ye Feng's tragic future. At this time, someone entered the campus official website and accidentally saw the information about the ring battle between Zhao Xiang and Ye Feng, which immediately aroused heated discussion. Did you see the news about the arena battle at the top of the campus's official arena battle website? I didn't pay attention. Who was fighting whom? Why was it pinned to the top? It's Zhao Xiang and Ye Feng. The match will start at noon tomorrow. They placed a bet of 5,000 credits, so they were placed at the top. Hey! 5,000 credits bet? Isn't that the highest? No wonder it was placed at the top of the list. It's the first time for a full bet. I used to have 1,000, and I felt very arrogant. By the way, who is Ye Feng? What's his background? Zhao Xiang is an old student and they recognize him. But this Ye Feng, they were not impressed. It is said that he is a new student who just entered school yesterday. What? Freshman? Everyone who heard the news was stunned. How strong can a new student be, no matter how strong he is? He actually had a ring battle with an old student. He even placed a full bet. Are people crazy, or is the world crazy? Could it be that Zhao Xiang is tricking the freshman, right? He's tricking the freshman into fighting him in an arena, and if he wins, he can collect credits. Damn! Genius idea! Why didn't I think of it? It's just a bit mean. What a despicable thing! You can't force it. I just blame the man named Ye Feng. He's just stupid and fell for someone's trick. There are so many freshmen, why didn't anyone else fall for the bait? But him. That's true. The students had a lively discussion. The instructors also learned the news one after another. Deng Qingfeng, Ye Feng's junior mentor, immediately found Ye Feng after learning the news. Why did you agree to fight in the ring with an old student? And you also placed a full bet. Judging from his appearance, he was more anxious than Ye Feng. Only in the morning did I realize that Ye Feng had an astonishing understanding and was a malleable talent. Who would have known that before the day was over, something like this would happen to Ye Feng? Most geniuses are too sharp and do not understand the golden mean, and they often suffer a lot. But he never expected that Ye Feng would be so prosperous that he would lose all his sense. He asked for a fight, so I agreed. Ye Feng said matter-of-factly. Then if he proposes a life-and-death battle, do you have to agree? Deng Qingfeng looked like he hated iron. Ah! There's such a good thing. Ye Feng looked forward to it. Deng Qingfeng. This man is hopeless. Chapter 29. Tutor Accommodation Area. Su Chanyi's yard. There was a hot aroma lingering in the surrounding air, and the nearby flowers and plants looked a little wilted, as if they had just been baked by the high temperature. At this time, Su Chanyi was wearing a training suit, with two big round thunders, like ripe fruits waiting to be picked, about to pop out of her clothes, and her hot figure supported the alluring S-curve. She had just finished practicing, with a blush on her cheeks, making her look even more attractive. During the break, she accidentally saw news about the ring battle. Is he crazy? Su Chanyi said subconsciously. If he wasn't crazy, how could he accept the challenge? She was still very optimistic about Ye Feng, but now, Ye Feng's actions make her feel that at least in terms of character, Ye Feng still has a long way to go. Forget it, let's teach him a lesson and hope he can grow up from it. Without a good character, he cannot become a strong person. Su Chanyi murmured. Then he continued to practice, and suddenly, the heat rose again in the yard. Ye Feng walked to the dormitory. Along the way, it attracted a lot of attention. Because of the arena battle, many people went to get to know Ye Feng out of curiosity, and they learned about his appearance. In their opinion at this time, Ye Feng was the stupidest among the freshmen in this class. If they had known it was so easy to deceive, they would have been the first to deceive him. Now that Zhao Xiang has taken the lead, he cannot draw up a second battle agreement before the battle is over, otherwise he will have to sign one with Ye Feng no matter what. Even if you are scolded for being mean, you still need a piece of meat. 5,000 credits is not a small amount, so what if you are scolded? Ye Feng gradually approached the student dormitory area, turned his head and looked in a certain direction, where the blue arrow extended all the way. I heard that that's where the tutors live. Hurry up and earn 10,000 credits, become a senior student, get close to Su Chanyi, and find a way to open her treasure chest. Ye Feng. When she returned to the dormitory area, she happened to bump into He Xiling and she shouted. Is it really you who signed up for tomorrow's ring battle? She asked eagerly. I signed it. Ye Feng nodded. Why did you sign this? That scumbag is an old student and is much stronger than you. How could you win? He Xiling felt incredible. Could it be that you agreed because you knew about my disfigurement and wanted to teach this scumbag a lesson? He Xiling said subconsciously. It's just that I felt a little embarrassed when I just finished saying it. It was a bit self-righteous to say this. It was true that she and Ye Feng were friends, but it was not enough to lose their minds and sign this unequal battle agreement because of this. Fortunately, Ye Feng didn't think too much and smiled mysteriously. You'll find out tomorrow. No matter how much she explains now, He Xiling won't believe that she can definitely win, so she might as well let her see for herself tomorrow. The next day, noon. After more than 10 hours of fermentation, almost all teachers and students in the school knew about the fight. Even many people who were not at school hurried back just to witness today's battle. If it was just a normal battle, even if there were 5,000 credits at stake, it wouldn't be that attractive. The key part is the huge disparity in strength between the two sides. One of them is an old student who has been in school for more than 2 years and is in the early stages of becoming a military commander. On the other hand, they were just freshmen who had just entered school 2 days ago. No matter which angle you think about it, you feel that this is a battle without any suspense. Competition Hall. There were huge crowds of people, including teachers and students. In the middle of the hall, there is a large square arena. On one side of the arena, Zhao Xiang stood there holding a knife in both hands, with confidence and indifference on his face. Why haven't you come yet? The surrounding audience couldn't wait for Ye Feng to show up. Oh, I'm afraid I won't dare to come. Zhao Xiang sneered inwardly. He probably won't come. When I signed the agreement, I signed it as soon as my head got hot. But now I realize it was for nothing, so I didn't dare to come. If he doesn't come after the deadline, even if he abstains, he will still lose. You lose anyway. If you don't come, you will get less of a beating. Zhao Xiang earns these 5,000 credits so damn easily, I'm so sad. Damn it, I rushed back from outside. I thought I could see a special battle, but didn't expect this. My trip was in vain. The audience was talking a lot near the ring. It's okay if you don't come, so as not to get hurt and affect your subsequent cultivation. Ye Feng's mentor Deng Qingfeng also came to watch and breathed a sigh of relief. Not only him, but also many mentors came, including Su Chanyi. I don't know what this kid is thinking. Su Chanyi shook her head. Just when everyone thought that Ye Feng would not come, they were ready to break up. He's coming. Swish swish swish. Everyone turned their attention to the door. The scene I saw was shocking. Ye Feng looked tired, yawned, almost dropped a toothpick in his mouth, and walked over like that without any image. Putting aside everything else, how can people believe that they can win with this image? After approaching, Ye Feng looked around at the crowd present. When he arrived at Su Chanyi's place, he paused for a moment. Finally, his eyes were fixed on Zhao Xiang on the ring. With a slight leap, Ye Feng jumped onto the ring and faced Zhao Xiang from a distance. Haha, I thought you didn't dare to come. Zhao Xiang's head was raised proudly, with a contemptuous smile on his face. I finished lunch and wanted to take a nap. Then I remembered that there was still this battle, so I rushed over. The time was just right. Ye Feng picked his teeth and said. Humph, just pretending. Zhao Xiang snorted coldly. Can I start the beating? After the beating, I can go back to sleep. Ye Feng asked. You have a chance to sleep, and you can spend most of the next time sleeping. Zhao Xiang smiled grimly, meaning something. Hey? Where are your weapons? Zhao Xiang suddenly discovered that Ye Feng was empty-handed and had no weapons. To deal with you. Ye Feng twirled his fingers, no need for weapons. FK. So pretentious. The crowd chanted. Pretend, you won't be able to pretend anymore after a while. Zhao Xiang sneered. This is why they misunderstood Ye Feng. To deal with Zhao Xiang, there is really no need for weapons. There is another key reason. It is not a life and death battle now, and we cannot directly hack to death. If we use a knife, we can only use an unedged one, which is not pleasant to cut. Ding dong! Ding dong! The countdown to the start of the battle sounded in the arena. 3, 2, 1. The battle begins. The electronic prompt sounded. Boom! Zhao Xiang's energy and blood suddenly increased, his feet suddenly exerted force, and he rushed towards Ye Feng. With his speed, he rushed from one end of the ring to Ye Feng on the other end almost instantly. The audience exclaimed, as expected of a military commander, this speed is so fast. On the other hand, Ye Feng stood motionless, probably not reacting yet. Also, a new student would definitely not be able to react in front of a military commander. It's over. Everyone thinks so. Only those mentors faintly noticed something was wrong. Ye Feng, so calm. It's not like I can't react at all, more like, boom. At this moment, Ye Feng also mobilized his energy and blood instantly, and his powerful breath suddenly burst out. General. He is also a military commander. Everyone was so shocked that their mouths were about to dislocate. The aura erupting from Ye Feng's body actually reached the early stage of a military commander. Why don't you? Zhao Xiang's idea just came up. At close range, Ye Feng's sandbag-sized fist was aimed at his face. Not good. Zhao Xiang's face was distorted, and he did not hesitate to damage his body, but also wanted to change his body shape in an instant. However, Ye Feng's fist seemed to be equipped with automatic tracking. Almost as his body moved to dodge, his fist also moved accordingly. The response is so fast, it's astonishing. Boom! A precise hit to the face. Zhao Xiang's face, the bridge of his nose was instantly sunken, and blood flew out. Ye Feng did not stop and punched out with both fists. Boom 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 boom. Like two machine guns, they fired hundreds of punches at all parts of Zhao Xiang's body. Zhao Xiang was suddenly thrown out of the ring and smashed into the audience. The whole person became a bloody man, motionless, as if dead. The whole place was silent. Chapter 30. Finished, call it a day. Ye Feng clapped his hands, took the toothpick and continued to pick his teeth. You win an arena battle and win 5,000 credits. A prompt popped up on Ye Feng's tactical watch. The credits have been deducted from Zhao Xiang and added to Ye Feng. Ye Feng's total credits have reached 6,000. Beautiful. It was only then that the scene erupted into applause from landslides and tsunamis, as well as extremely noisy exclamations. Too strong. After just one encounter, he was knocked away. What the hell is this new student? In that moment, there were at least hundreds of punches, right? Such a fast punching speed puts me to shame even as a boxing major. It requires a very high degree of control of the body to have such explosive power. Both old and new students were extremely shocked. The old students were shocked that a new student was so powerful. The freshmen, while shocked, were also half proud and half ashamed. I am proud that there are such strong people among the new students. Let's see if these old students dare to bully them. I am also ashamed that I am also a freshman. They are already extremely strong, but I am still working hard to become a martial artist. Comparing one person to another is really annoying. We are both college entrance examination champions, but he has already left me so far behind. Sun Rong's face was full of bitterness, and he felt that the snacks in his mouth no longer tasted good. Ye Feng is so strong. He Xiling murmured softly. When she was practicing last night, she luckily broke through to the martial arts realm. I originally thought that the strength gap with Ye Feng had narrowed, but now I know that there are still several gaps between them. No wonder Ye Feng was so confident yesterday. And when she saw that scumbag Zhao Xiang, he was really beaten into disgrace by Ye Feng. Not to mention how happy she was, he finally vented his anger on her behalf. The instructors were equally shocked. How can this kid be so strong? With this strength, he will probably surpass me in a short time. Deng Qingfeng was shocked. No wonder he responded to the challenge so happily. It turns out there is something really good about it. What he doesn't know is that when it comes to real fighting, Ye Feng is no worse than him now. His growth rate is faster than mine at that time. Su Chanyi seemed to have discovered a new world, staring at Ye Feng in surprise, with a bit of stubbornness that refused to admit defeat. Even though she is already King Wu, she is actually only in her 20s. Young people are always more competitive. When you see someone who is better than yourself at the same stage, you will inevitably feel frustrated while admiring him. He ignored the rules of fighting and killed my brother. He is a murderer. While everyone was immersed in the shocking emotions, a discordant voice sounded. When everyone looked around, they saw that Zhao Ming was full of hatred. Next to the bloody Zhao Xiang, they were a little at a loss and had no idea what to do. He can't die. I knew where to start. I only injured him. He could lie down for half a year at most, and then he could get up and sit in a wheelchair. After another half a year of recovery, he would probably be fine. There is no need to fuss about such a small injury. Ye Feng said lightly. Everyone know the appropriateness? Lying down for half a year? Will you be in a wheelchair for another 6 months? Is this a minor injury? Look, are you talking in human language? Zhao Ming was almost furious. When he looked at Ye Feng, he was shocked and angry. Deng Qingfeng walked over and checked Zhao Xiang's body. You won't know if you don't check, but you'll be shocked if you check. There are hundreds of fractures all over the body, evenly distributed throughout the body, and cleverly avoiding vital points so as not to kill the person. In terms of internal organs, they were also injured by the shock. In short, the internal injuries were very serious, but fortunately they could be recovered. In other words, only warriors with strong physical fitness have the possibility of recovery. If it were an ordinary person, no, even if it were someone with weak strength, it would be difficult to recover from this kind of injury. Unexpectedly, the seemingly approachable Ye Feng would be so ruthless. There is nothing wrong with this. Zhao Xiang was the one who set the trap first, so it doesn't matter if he is ruthless. As a warrior, if you are too kind and soft-hearted, you will often suffer big losses. He's not dead yet, he just passed out. Contact the infirmary and get him treated immediately, Deng Qingfeng said. After hearing this, what else could Zhao Ming say? Of course, he should send his brother to treatment quickly. If he was sent too late, he might not be able to save him. After this incident, Ye Feng immediately became popular. The surrounding instructors, especially the senior instructors, all stared at Ye Feng. Their idea, anyone with a discerning eye can see, is to compete for Ye Feng as a student in advance. With Ye Feng's strength, they knew very well that it would not be long before he could earn enough 10,000 credits and become a senior student. At that time, they would need to choose a senior mentor. Geniuses like Ye Feng are hard to find even in a lantern. When he grows up, his achievements will be unlimited, and he will definitely compete to become a student. Don't even steal it. He belongs to me. Following the words, Ye Feng's eyes lit up with flowers, and the fragrance filled his nostrils. Su Chanyi's proud figure appeared in front of Ye Feng. It bounces well, but it's a bit dizzy. Teacher Su, many of the good talents in the past have entered your school. This time. Su Chanyi interrupted directly, there's no need to do it this time or that time. I'm the one who proctored the exam in Linhai City. I've already taken a liking to Ye Feng and I won't give it to you no matter what. Su Chanyi's attitude was tough and she would not give in. As she spoke, the temperature around her gradually increased. Okay, okay. What's yours, I won't snatch it from you. Seeing that the momentum was wrong, the other instructors gave in. If you really want to be serious, this girl really dares to use swords and guns with you. The key is that she is terrifyingly strong. She is not called the youngest female martial arts queen in Lingnan for nothing. That's pretty much it. Su Chanyi raised her head like a proud swan. Ye Feng, when you become a senior student, you will come to me immediately, do you understand? Su Chanyi told Ye Feng. This situation is exactly what Ye Feng wants, but he asked out of curiosity, do I have the right to choose? Logically speaking, students also have the right to choose their tutors. If they really don't want to be your tutor, can you still force them? The other instructors who had given up the competition had their eyes lit up when they heard this. Yes, students also have a choice and can refuse. If they reject Su Chanyi, won't their opportunity come? All the senior instructors looked forward to it, and their eyes glowed again. You have the right to choose, but you are not allowed to refuse. Su Chanyi waved her fist. That's it. I have to take one step ahead. After your credits reach 10,000, remember to find me and wait for you. After Su Chanyi finished speaking, she disappeared into the hall without giving Ye Feng a chance to speak. What a domineering BCH! Ye Feng complained. That's true. The radiant spirits of the teachers dimmed again. However, this was just like Su Chanyi's style, so they were not surprised. In the next few days, Ye Feng found some tasks to do. With Ye Feng's current strength, it is relatively simple to earn credits. The credits increased rapidly and soon reached 9,000. Choose another 1,000-point task and you can reach 10,000. Ye Feng was choosing on the big mission screen. This mission requires entering a secret realm. At this time, a clue to the treasure chest popped up. Treasure box clue, in the green secret realm, a green, high-quality, treasure box appears. Please go and open it. Chapter 31. The green secret realm is a place with dense plants and rich in medicinal herbs. Many people who need herbal medicine will immediately think of this secret place. This secret realm is also dangerous, with poisonous substances and strange beasts. There is also a species that is even more peculiar and fits the characteristics of this secret realm, demonized plants. The so-called demonized plant is a plant that can move. Judging from its appearance, it looks just like a normal plant. But it is like an animal, its trunk and branches can move, as if it is alive. There are many kinds of demonized plants, with different shapes, and they are all dangerous. Maybe a nearby willow tree, which was peaceful at first, suddenly swung its willow branches, tied people up, and hanged them alive. The scene was strange for a time. Fortunately, the conditions for the formation of demonized plants are relatively harsh. The right time, place, and people are indispensable. At a certain time, when an opportunity comes, plants can be successfully demonized and wisdom can be born. There are also very few parts that come from reproduction. For example, a certain demonized plant condenses seeds, and the seeds germinate and grow, forming a new demonized plant. However, the reproduction rate of demonized plants is very low, so this situation is relatively rare. Everything has two sides, just like strange beasts. While they pose a threat, they can also bring beneficial things to people. For example, the flesh and blood of alien animals, eaten all year round, is helpful for warriors to improve their chi and blood. The materials on some exotic beasts are extremely strong and can also be used to make weapons. The same is true for demonized plants. They themselves have medicinal value. After being killed, the corpse is very valuable. In addition, if you are lucky enough to get the seeds or seedlings of demonized plants, as long as you have the ability to cultivate it, it will be a great force. Like a war pet, it can help its owner fight. There are extremely aggressive fighting types, and there are also defensive types that can form a protective armor that covers the whole body and take damage for others, or other auxiliary types. Rumor has it that many years ago, there was a man named Mu Bufan with average martial arts qualifications. His future in martial arts training was limited, but he was unwilling to be mediocre, so he devoted himself to studying demonized plants. Later, he really became famous for his research, and he was extremely knowledgeable about demonic plants. He successfully cultivated many demonized plants, some of which were extremely powerful in combat, much stronger than himself. It is said that he, who was only a martial artist, actually relied on demonized plants to kill a martial king. After the news spread, countless people were shocked. At the same time, it has also made many people jealous. After all, there is too little relevant information on cultivating demonic plants. Even if there is research, it must be hidden and will not be made public. Therefore, even if you are given a demonized plant suitable for cultivation, you will not be able to cultivate it successfully because you do not have the relevant knowledge. The ordinary man is not guilty, but he is guilty of carrying the jade. When you have a valuable treasure but are unwilling to give it away or share it, then someone will definitely take risks and use despicable means to rob you. Many forces have focused on Mubufen and launched various interception and killing operations. The purpose is to obtain all the results of Mubufen's research on demonized plants. A few months later, Mubufen disappeared, and no one knew his whereabouts anymore. Some people say that he is incognito and hiding. Some people said that he was already dead, stabbed to death, and the murderer was unknown. 20 years have passed since then, and the name Mubufen can only be heard in people's mouths, and no one has seen this person again. Whether he was hiding or really dead, no one knows. Back to the present, Feng is looking at the task list. Task: excavate 10 King Fengko plants. Details: commissioned by Engkang Pharmacy, go to the Fengming Valley in the Green Secret Place and dig out 10 King Fengko. Recommended strength: military general level or above. Task reward: 1000 credits. Deadline: June 30th. The mission seems simple, but in fact the risk is not small. The Green Secret Realm is a third-level secret realm, and it is safer to enter with the strength of the generals. There is still a deadline for this task. Feng subconsciously glanced at the date, June 30th. Isn't it just today? In other words, after today, the task will expire. Time is running out. Feng immediately accepts the task. Set off. Anyway, there is a treasure chest in the Green Secret Realm. You must go there this time, otherwise you can consider changing to other tasks. Now go over there, dig up the Qingfeng grass, and then open the treasure chest, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. On the road, Feng took the opportunity to inquire about information about Fengming Valley. I really found a lot. It seems this place is quite popular. Fengming Valley, in June every year, there are strong winds in the valley, and the wind howls. During this period, plants will grow rapidly, and some of them have medicinal value, such as King Fengko. But be careful. During this period, the valley is most dangerous and attracts many wind-loving and strange beasts. Feng learned about it and had a basic understanding of Fengming Valley. I finally understand why there is a task deadline. Because after June, the strong wind in Fengming Valley disappeared, the Qingfeng grass stopped growing, and it was impossible to find it until it was too late. 2 hours later, Feng finally arrived at the Green Secret Realm. It is located to the north of the provincial capital. There is a plain here called Green Plain. I don't know whether it was because of the secret realm that the plain was called this name, or because it was originally called this name, and after the secret realm appeared, it was called the Green Secret Realm. This question is irrelevant and no one cares. In the center of the plain, the void seemed to have collapsed. It was at least the size of a football field, emitting green light, and the color matched the surrounding plains. There are relatively few strange animals in this plain. It stretches as far as the eye can see and there are not many places to hide. The intelligence of alien beasts is not as good as that of humans, but they also know that without a hiding place, they will die faster. At first glance, I saw no strange beasts, but I saw a lot of people walking together in small groups. Not all of them are military commanders. As long as there is at least one military commander in the team, even if the other team members are martial arts masters, it is usually not a big problem. I wonder what the wind speed is today over there in Fengming Valley. It's the last day. This time I enter Fengming Valley. I want to get more herbs. There are many people who want to go to Fengming Valley. It seems that there will be a lot of competition. Vaguely, Feng heard many teams talking about Fengming Valley. Maybe it's because it's the last day, and if you miss today, you'll have to wait another year, so everyone gathers together to come here. Of course, there are quite a few who are not going to Fengming Valley, they have their own destinations. Some distance away from Ye Feng, there were 3 people standing side by side. The man on the left has a strong build, a long knife at his waist, and sharp eyes. He looks like a guard. The man on the right is holding a vessel in his hand, with a serious look on his face, not knowing what he is looking at. The most eye-catching thing is the man in the middle, a handsome young man, who speaks and behaves like a noble family. Chapter 32. The 3 of them exchanged a few simple words, but their voices were very low so that no one else could hear them. They quickly approached the entrance to the secret realm, and a strong suction force acted on them, and the 3 of them quickly disappeared. So does everyone else. Ye Feng also approached. This is Ye Feng's first time entering the secret realm, so I don't know how the experience will be. Although I have checked other people's descriptions in advance, my own personal experience always feels novel. As it gets closer, the suction becomes stronger and stronger. Finally, unable to resist at all, he was sucked in violently. Ye Feng also disappeared on the spot. The whole transmission process is very wonderful. The body no longer seems to be one's own, it seems to have been dismantled into countless pieces, and even the soul has been stripped out. The whole process felt unreal, probably somewhat similar to a dream. Until he regained control of his body, the scene in front of him gradually appeared. As far as the eye can see, it is full of greenery, with weeds several meters high and giant trees hundreds of meters high. The plants inside look larger than those outside, and many varieties are not found outside. Some of them are very brightly colored, and most of them are highly poisonous, so it's best not to get close to them. When he came here, Ye Feng had already done his homework to avoid violating taboos. At this time, there was no one else around. When you come in, you come from the same entrance, but you will be randomly teleported to various places in the secret realm. First figure out where you are. Ye Feng clicked on the tactical watch and unfolded the pre-downloaded map of the green secret realm. This secret realm has been in existence for many years. Except for a few dangerous places, most of which have been explored to some extent, the map is still relatively comprehensive. Position. The tactical watch scans the surrounding scenery and then compares it with the map to find the location. The positioning was soon successful, and a red dot appeared on the map, representing Ye Feng. Yes, it's not far from Fengming Valley. Ye Feng immediately set off towards Fengming Valley. Because of the time limit, I dug up the Qingfeng grass first, and then went to find the treasure chest. As for how to return to the outside, you need to return here again, and the suction will naturally send you back again. In other words, everyone has their own place of return, where they appear after coming in, and where they will be when they return. Like those who form a team, they hold hands when they come in, so they can be transported to the same place and will not be separated. 10 minutes later, Ye Feng arrived at Fengming Valley. Before entering, you can hear the whistling wind coming from the mouth of the valley. Ye Feng walked in. Phew! Phew! The strong wind blows the sand and rocks, and the smoke and dust billows, making it difficult to see clearly outside. Finding herbs will increase the difficulty. However, Ye Feng was able to cope with such a windy place with ease. The talent of the Wind Whisperer makes Ye Feng more friendly to the wind element and his perception becomes more sensitive. Whoosh! A wind blade suddenly struck from ahead. When vision is hazy, ordinary people can easily fall victim to this trap. Fortunately, Ye Feng didn't know how to sense it in advance, moved his body slightly sideways, and dodged the wind blade. The strong wind will form wind blades, which have considerable attack power and are also one of the dangerous factors in Fengming Valley. Ye Feng walked inside, dodging a wind blade from time to time. He looked like he was strolling around, very relaxed. On the other hand, others walked cautiously and were injured from time to time. Even if they were lucky enough to escape, they were so frightened that they broke into a cold sweat. Some people retreated and left Fengming Valley, while others lingered in place, not daring to go deeper. Because the deeper you go, the stronger the wind, the denser the wind blades, and the greater the power. As he advanced, Ye Feng also felt changes. The frequency of the wind blades had at least doubled, and their power was also stronger. Finally, Ye Feng saw a Qingfeng grass. Just as he was about to get it, Ye Feng narrowed his eyes. I saw a wind wolf with a strong body, rushing towards the breeze grass. Court death! Ye Feng shouted loudly and crossed the distance between the two sides with a single lunge. The wind wolf also noticed Ye Feng rushing towards him. It was fierce and grinning. The wolf's mouth that was originally biting Qing Feng grass turned to bite Ye Feng. However, the sword light was cold and cold. Ouch! With a miserable wolf howl, Feng Lang's body was split in half by Ye Feng. I mean, why is it so hard to find? It turns out that not only other people are looking for it, but even animals are here to get a share of the pie. Ye Feng murmured, dug up the King Fengko and put it into his backpack. If it were a step too late, this Qing Feng grass would definitely be eaten by the wind wolf. It is probably beneficial for them to eat this. Ye Feng moved on. Next, King Fengko was found one after another. The fifth plant. There was another Qing Feng grass on the ground, which was dug up by Ye Feng and put into his backpack. Suddenly, two people appeared nearby and approached. Boy, that breeze grass belongs to us. Both of them had arrogant expressions on their faces and spoke harshly to Ye Feng. Yours. These words almost made Ye Feng laugh. Things in the wild are on a first come, first served basis, so why do they belong to them? Is it possible that it was planted by you? Ye Feng sarcastically asked. Don't tell me, we planted it. The two laughed loudly, looking like they were determined to get you. Then what do you think we should do now? Ye Feng said coldly, murderous intention gradually brewing. It's very simple, hand over all the herbs you dug, no, all the things you have on you. Yes, hand them all over, otherwise this will be your burial place. The two said fiercely. For them, there is no sense of guilt in killing people. This is reality and human greed. When Ye Feng inquires about information related to the secret realm, he will always see a reminder, be wary of anyone in the secret realm. Then, let's try that trick on you. Ye Feng murmured something in a voice that could only be heard clearly by himself. You don't have to pray quietly there, it's useless. Hurry up and hand over the things, don't test our patience. The two scolded. As soon as I finished speaking, I suddenly felt something was wrong. Ye Feng's pupils turned strangely red, just like blood beads, which looked very scary. A powerful and terrifying aura erupted on Ye Feng. You, what's wrong with you? Both of them panicked. Facing Ye Feng at this time was like facing a bloodthirsty demon who killed without blinking an eye. Without any hesitation, the two turned around and ran away. Whoosh! A bloody spear quickly appeared in front of Ye Feng. Call out! The blood gun shot away quickly, and wherever it passed, the void was dyed red, as if it had been dragged by a bloody corpse. The blood-red gun shadows darted back and forth, and their heads exploded all over the place. Receive! The blood gun flew back, restored its original purple-black color, turned into energy, and entered Ye Feng's mind. Ye Feng's blood-red pupils also returned to their original black color. This soul-summoning skill deserves to be called Blood Spear Shura. The process of performing it is really bloody and brutal, but the power is indeed much stronger than when the soul skill was not used. Ye Feng searched the two of them and found a lot of medicinal herbs. It is estimated that most of these herbs were robbed by them. There are more than 10 varieties, among which there are 5 King Fengko, plus the 5 I dug up, the total is just 10. There is no need to continue to look for it, the task is completed. You can go find the treasure chest. Ye Feng took the herbs and walked outside Fengming Valley. Leaving Fengming Valley, Ye Feng followed the green arrow on the ground and headed towards the treasure chest. I hope the location is not too difficult to reach. Chapter 33. After walking for about 20 minutes, we still haven't reached our destination. The trees in this area are relatively dense, so Ye Feng walks more carefully, fearing that something will suddenly pop out. As if to confirm Ye Feng's thoughts, a pinprick-like sense of crisis emerged without any warning. Before he had time to think about it, Ye Feng suddenly exerted force on his feet and immediately jumped away from where he was standing. Bang! A thick vine suddenly emerged from the ground where Ye Feng had just stood, like a huge green python. What a risk! Ye Feng is afraid. If he had reacted any slower, he would have been attacked by this thing. This is a demonized plant. Observe this object carefully. It is about 10 meters long and as thick as an adult's torso. It is overall green and has moire-like textures on its surface. Ye Feng can already conclude that this kind of plant that seems to be alive is a demonized plant. Before coming here, I was wondering if I would encounter demonic plants during this trip, but I didn't expect that I actually did. When Ye Feng's thoughts were wandering. Whoosh! Ivy launched another attack, like a long whip, whipping Ye Feng hard. Fortunately, the speed was not too fast. Ye Feng used his body skills to quickly avoid it. Don't think I'm easy to bully. I'll die. Ye Feng drew his sword and struck. It also wanted to dodge, but due to speed issues, it couldn't move faster than Ye Feng's knife. Laugh. A slash of the knife caused green liquid to splash out. It's really tough. With such a full blow, I thought it would be cut off directly, but in the end, it was only cut in half. What's even more surprising is that a large amount of green juice oozes from the wound, healing the wound at a speed visible to the naked eye. In less than 10 seconds, the wound healed as if it had never been injured. What an insane healing speed! Fortunately, the opponent's attack speed is not fast, otherwise with such an abnormal healing speed, he would be invincible. Bang! Bang! The earth shook, and 2 more identical ivy branches came out of the ground. 2 more! Ye Feng's eyes widened. If that's the case, then I have no choice but to use a trick. Whoosh! The magic breaking gun is condensing. Blood spear Shura. The soul skill was used, the blood was overwhelming, and the spear was dyed red. Call out! The blood gun shot away and swept across ivy. The power was so great that one of the ivy branches was swept into 2 pieces with one blow. Haha, let's see what you do now. Before Ye Feng finished speaking, the broken piece, like a gecko's broken tail, jumped crazily on the ground a few times. A magical scene happened. The 2 broken sections actually came into contact with each other. Under the treatment of a large amount of juice secretion, they were quickly connected back together. FK. This self-healing ability is really incredible. Ye Feng continued to complain, and the attack did not stop. His soul power controlled the magic breaking gun, and he attacked Qingtang from a distance. Qingtang's attack speed was relatively slow, and it became increasingly difficult to parry under Ye Feng's crazy attacks. Bang! The spear swiped again, and all 3 ivy branches were cut off. This time, I never took him back. From this point of view, it cannot heal itself endlessly. Finally, under the strangulation of Ye Feng's spear, he was strangled into pieces and finally killed. Ye Feng walked over, grabbed the root, and pulled up suddenly. Its root-covered head was pulled out of the ground by Ye Feng. I thought the 3 ivy stems were 3 demonized plants, but it turned out to be 1 demonized plant with 3 ivy stems growing there. Ye Feng suddenly said. The dead ivy actually shrank rapidly, shrinking at least 10 times. Demonized plants have the ability to change size. Ye Feng knew this and was not surprised. In its normal form, it looks like this little one. When fighting or hunting, it becomes bigger. Of course, how big they can be depends on what stage they are currently growing to. Take this ivy for example. Ye Feng has searched online and finally found relevant information. It is called Yunsang vine. When it grows to 3 vines, it has a strength equivalent to that of a military commander. Each vine can reach a maximum height of 10 meters. The form just now is its largest form. The characteristic of Yunsang vine is that it has an extremely abnormal self-healing ability. As long as it is not smashed to pieces in an instant, even if it is broken into several pieces, it can recover quickly. Or, like Ye Feng, you can use your speed advantage to keep causing damage to it, and you can also continue to consume it. When it can no longer heal itself, you can kill it with 1 blow. The relatively slow speed is its weakness. According to online reports, Yunsang vine can grow up to 6 vines. At that time, its strength will be equivalent to the martial master realm. In fact, its biggest advantage is not in combat, but in its use as a defensive armor. It allows the Yunsang vine to grow into a suitable size and wrap around the warrior's body to form a tightly fitted defensive armor. This armor has terrifying self-healing capabilities and can be upgraded and grown. Ye Feng thought about the information he just saw and felt that this Yunsang vine was really a good thing. But if you want to achieve this, the premise is that Yunsang Tang recognizes you as the master. It is impossible for adult demonized plants to recognize their masters. They would rather be killed and self-destruct than to recognize their masters. That's why Ye Feng didn't hesitate to kill Yunsang Tang. If you want a demonized plant to recognize its owner, there are only 2 ways, which is to get the seedlings of the demonized plant, or get the seeds. No matter which type, it is very rare. Even if it is obtained, it will not be able to grow without the correct cultivation plan. Ye Feng tried to search around to see if it was possible to find a mulberry vine seedling. If you can, that's perfect. Unfortunately, after digging almost 3 feet into the ground, nothing was gained in the end. Sure enough, with the extremely low reproduction rate of demonized plants, seedlings are not so easy to obtain. Ye Feng picked up Yun Sangtan's body. To be more precise, pick off its head. The head contains the essence of plants and trees, which is a good material for refining alchemy, especially for refining healing elixirs. Hey! Why are you wilting? Ye Feng suddenly noticed that the head of Yunsang vine was wilting rapidly. It was as if all the essence had been sucked out, leaving only a layer of rotten skin. Isn't it? Will it wither and rot after being beaten? But I have never heard that after killing a demonized plant, the body will rot. Ye Feng observed carefully and quickly discovered the clues. Inside the rotten skin on the head, there is actually a blue ball, the size of a baby's fist. Seed. It's the seed of the mulberry vine. Ye Feng exclaimed, his face full of surprise. Even if you kill 100 demonized plants, you may not be able to find even one with seeds. The first time I killed him, I just happened to encounter him. I can only say that I was really lucky. However, I don't know how to cultivate it next, and I will figure it out later. Ye Feng left here with the seeds, and then headed to the treasure chest. After advancing for a while, we finally approached the place where the treasure chest was located. What happened? The crowd in front was noisy, and there seemed to be people fighting. Chapter 34. Here, there is a huge mountain with steep and vertical rock walls, toweringly. Under the mountain, there is a cave. At the entrance of the cave, a battle was taking place. To be precise, there were quite a few people attacking this cave. There are actually demonic plants here. Ye Feng was shocked to find that there were several demonic plants like piranha at the entrance of the cave, resisting people's attack. At first, the situation was somewhat stalemate, but something unexpected happened at the next moment. A bigger piranha flower suddenly rushed out from the cave. The huge mouth parts suddenly bite the person in the battle, screams are heard while chewing, blood splashes everywhere, and they are all quickly swallowed. The scene is extremely bloody. Sure enough, there are stronger ones inside. Even King Wu at his peak may not be able to defeat this blood-mouthed man-eating flower. Among the people watching nearby, a young man in luxurious clothes said with a solemn expression. The blood-mouthed piranha in his mouth refers to those demonic plants in the cave. Their mouth parts are the same color as blood. When they pray, the blood splashes and becomes even redder, hence the name. Master, what should we do? The tall and muscular attendant beside him asked. The more this happens, the more certain it is that this is Mu Bufen's burial place. So, no matter how difficult it is, we must go in. I have already informed the elders of the Zhang family to send experts to support. The young man Zhang Mingxian said, looked at the man on the other side who had been tinkering with the utensils in the drum, and asked aloud, "Are you almost ready? Get back to me soon, young master." He answered with his mouth, and kept moving his hands, continuing to feed some particles to the goo insects in the vessel. These three people had met them outside before entering the secret realm, and Ye Feng had some impressions of them. From the words of other nearby onlookers talking to each other, Ye Feng keenly captured the words Mu Bufen. It turns out that they gathered here because they suspected that this was Mu Bufen's cemetery. When searching for information about demonized plants, there is always a name that cannot be avoided, which is Mu Bufen. Stories about him have been passed down for a long time. Even though it has disappeared for 20 years, its popularity is still very high. How the news here spread is unknown. Anyway, everyone present comes from different camps, including family forces and individual casual cultivators, and their strength is also high or low. The demonized plants at the entrance of the cave are so powerful that no one present is a match. Except for a few reckless ones who will rush to die, most people remain on the sidelines for the time being. Although it is a potential competitive relationship, because they are all stuck outside, the situation is relatively stable for the time being. They were all imagining that if this place was really Mu Bufen's cemetery, it was very likely that there would be Mu Bufen's research results there. As long as these research results can be obtained, it will be a huge treasure. Ye Feng waited at the entrance of the cave for a while and quickly concluded that he did not have the strength to break in. Just the one I saw just now, the huge blood-mouthed piranha, I couldn't defeat. Even though they didn't come out of the cave, they thought they could use the Soul Master's ability to attack them from a distance. In fact, they can move and will not stay in place, waiting to be beaten. If Ye Feng dares to touch them, he will definitely be hunted down. So why don't you make wedding clothes for others in vain? Ye Feng did not waste time here and continued on the road, following the arrow guidance and opening the treasure chest first to see if things could turn around. How does it feel, like you are walking around the mountain? Ye Feng discovered that the arrow's guidance was close to the edge of the mountain, causing Ye Feng to keep walking around the mountain. Should be here soon. Ye Feng perked up. This place is located on the back of the mountain. The plants here are relatively lush, and the entire mountain is covered with thick weeping vines. The arrow reaches here and finally points to a certain location on the hanging vine. The treasure chest is under the weeping vine. Ye Feng first made a tentative attack and found that they were all ordinary plants and there were no dangers nearby, so he opened the weeping vines. A dark hole appeared in front of Ye Feng. The hole is not big, just big enough for one person to get in. If it weren't for the arrow guidance, I would definitely not know that there is such a small hole hidden under the thick hanging vines. The arrow is still extending toward the entrance of the cave. If you want to open the treasure chest, you have to get in. Just drill. Ye Feng got in. The first few meters are relatively narrow, and then the mountain road gradually becomes wider. Soon, Ye Feng no longer had to crawl forward and could stand up and walk. The mountain road has twists and turns and is pitch black. Fortunately, the warrior's eyesight is amazing and he will not go blind. The view ahead widened, and Ye Feng discovered that he had arrived at a large cave hall. There are often cavities inside the mountain, forming this kind of cave. In the darkness, the green light in the middle of the cave looked very dazzling. Treasure chest. Ye Feng walked over and was about to open the treasure chest when he glanced out of the corner of his eye and his body tensed up. Is there anyone? Ye Feng almost attacked. After quickly taking a closer look, I found that it was not a human being, but a corpse that had been dead for an unknown period of time. Snap! Let's open the treasure chest first. You opened a green, high-quality, treasure box. Congratulations on getting 6,000 soul power points, 30% sword intent. Merge. Ye Feng's soul power skyrocketed crazily, from the original 9,000 points to 15,000 points. He rose to 2 small realms in a row. From the original early level general level, he was upgraded to the late level general level. It feels so good to be so powerful. Ye Feng vaguely felt that he was capable of transcending the ranks and fighting against King Wu in his early stage. Unfortunately, even so, the demonic plants in the cave are still too strong for me to deal with now. In addition to the surge in soul power, Ye Feng also gained 30% of his sword intention. The so-called sword intention is a kind of artistic conception that can be understood after practicing sword skills to a certain level and having a very high understanding of swords. Not only does the sword have the intention of the sword, but those who practice other paths also have their own artistic conceptions. For example, the sword has the sword intention, the gun has the spear intention, the fist has the fist intention. The artistic conception is extremely difficult to understand. There are very few people who can understand the artistic conception. They are all geniuses in their respective fields. Especially when the realm is relatively low, those with artistic conception are even rarer. Generally, one has to reach King Wu or above to gradually understand the artistic conception. There are a total of 10% of the complete artistic conception. Every 10% more is comprehended, the greater the blessing to the combat power. Ye Feng was only at the level of a military general at this time, and already possessed a full 30% of his artistic conception. It could be said that he had a huge advantage and greatly improved his strength. It's different with the blessing of sword intention. I feel now that the knife in my hand is like an extension of my arm. There is an idiom that goes well, like an arm moving a finger, it should be this kind of state. How can you not be strong when fighting in this state? This corpse. Ye Feng looked at the bones over there. After many years, only the skeleton remains of the body, which is somewhat blackened. Poisoned. Such a phenomenon made Ye Feng speculate on the cause of his death. Hey! There is a book. Ye Feng discovered that the bones were lying flat and there was a book pillowed under the head. Chapter 35. This person, could he be Mu Bufan? Although it was a question, Ye Feng's tone was extremely determined. Just now, all my attention was focused on finding and opening the treasure chest, and I didn't think about it in detail. Now if I think about it carefully, the mountain I came in from was actually the same mountain as the one where the demonized plants appeared. However, others don't know that there are 2 entrances. But he accidentally hit it, and was led by the arrow from the treasure box. He entered through a small hole on the back of the mountain, and finally arrived at the Longteng here. Then this corpse should be that of Mu Bufan. As those people suspected, Mu Bufan had been killed long ago and was buried here. Judging from the cause of death, it should be that after Mu Bufan was poisoned, he knew that he would die without a solution, so he found this place as a burial place. The demonized plants guarding the cave entrance outside were also arranged by him before his death. After all, it was rumored that he cultivated many demonic plants during his lifetime. When you think about it this way, everything falls into place. Then this book under his pillow. Ye Feng's breathing became rapid. He immediately went over and slowly pulled out the book. Open and browse. Line by line, page by page. The more Ye Feng looked, the brighter his eyes became. It's him. It's indeed him. The thick notebook contains all records related to demonized plants, which are the results of Mu Bufan's lifelong research. It contains research on various demonized plants, down to the smallest detail, such as how to grow a mature demonized plant from a demonized seed. The plans for each stage are written clearly and clearly. Ye Feng was originally worried about where he could find information on cultivating demonized plant seeds. Otherwise, the mulberry vine seeds he obtained would be just a decoration. Now it's good. After getting Mu Bufan's research results, we have a cultivation plan. However, now is not the time to take a closer look. Maybe at some point, a master will arrive from outside and attack. Ye Feng is very clear about the reason why he is guilty of holding a jade. Mu Bufan will die. For this reason, Ye Feng does not want to become the next Mu Bufan. Brother Mu, after receiving your research results, I can be considered half of your student. I'll take you with me to find a place outside to bury you. Otherwise, when those people outside come in, they might tear you apart. Before Ye Feng left, he said to Mu Bufan's corpse. The above mentioned is just one of the reasons. There is another reason to take away the bones. Even if outsiders come in and find no bones, they will not guess that this is the burial place of Mu Bufan, and the matter will be settled. And if the bones were found, his research results were not found. This group of people will definitely not give up and will try every means to find it. Although Ye Feng may not be found in the end, it is not a good thing to be remembered and searched hard. To make a fortune in silence, it is of course better not to let people know about it. Ye Feng took the skeleton and left quickly, evacuating from the original route. At this time, the demonized plants are on the other side of the cave. The situation is similar to before, except that the number of people seems to be larger, and they are coming later. The people who came later were relatively average in strength and could not defeat the demonized plants, so they could only wait and see. Master, that's it. Can we start now? The man holding the utensil said to Zhang Mingxian. Start immediately. Zhang Mingxian affirmed. Yes. The man squatted down and tilted the container in his hand to the ground. Several black worms squirmed out of it, which were about the size of fingers and looked like earthworms. They were very inconspicuous. The Zhang family has a tradition of raising voodoo bugs. Goo bugs have different functions, including poisonous bugs, tracking bugs, flying bugs, and ground-burrowing bugs. This black poisonous bug is called a sniffing bug, and it belongs to a category of tracking bugs. They have a keen sense of smell. Even if the smell is deliberately concealed by means, even if it is very weak, they will be sniffed out and can be tracked over a long distance. The man is a goo master of the Zhang family, and the vessel in his hand is called a goo plate. Through some preliminary measures, he has established contact with the sniffing bug. Later, the information detected by the sniffing bug will be known to him in real time. These methods are quite mysterious. The sniffing bugs on the ground immediately got into the ground as if they had received some instructions. If you could see through it at this time, you would be surprised to see the sniffing bugs burrowing forward underground at extremely fast speeds. In addition to their keen sense of smell, another ability is that they can burrow into the ground very quickly. It's true that for tracking targets, the speed must be fast. The Goo Master man simply sat cross-legged, closed his eyes, and felt the information that the sniffing insect had come into contact with. The sniffing insects entered the mountain, but the demonized plants were not found. Go all the way. Sniffing bugs pop up from time to time, collect information about the surrounding environment, and then move on. When you arrive at a certain location. The Goo Master man frowned. What's wrong? Zhang Mingxian asked. The Goo Master man still closed his eyes, gathered some thoughts, and replied, back to the young master, in the mountain road, I detected a breath of strangers. Judging from the concentration of the remaining breath, it should have just passed by not long ago. Then there was another breath. Speaking of this, the Gu Master Man looked puzzled, shook his head uncertainly, and said no more. What? Has anyone gone in? Zhang Mingxian was shocked. At the same time, I also wondered how I got in. He came here early, everyone had nothing to do with the demonized plants, and absolutely no one had gone in. Trace it quickly. Look where the source is. The Gu Master Man knew what to do without Zhang Mingxuan's orders. This residual aura extends in two directions. One end is definitely the entrance, the direction from which the person came, and the other end is the direction from which the person is heading. No matter which end, you have to explore it. There were more than one sniffing bug released just now, so they were divided into two and tracked at the same time. Soon, one of the sniffing insects came to a cave. Moreover, sniffing bugs focus on sniffing a certain location. That position was exactly where the bones were lying just now. Young Master, a cave was found in the mountain. The Gu Master reported. What's so special? Zhang Mingxian asked. I was still wondering just now. In addition to the living aura of people in the mountain road, there is also a dead aura. And in the cave, somewhere in it, I smelled this dead aura. And, that living aura, been here too. You mean? Zhang Mingxian remembered what the Gu Master said just now, but he hesitated in the end. It's just that at that time, Zhang Mingxian focused all his attention on the point that someone has been in and ignored other information. Yes, I seriously suspect that there was a body here originally, but now it has been moved away. At this point, the situation is very clear. The person who moved the body was the person who just entered. But now, people have probably left. Why were the bodies removed? Could it be necrophilia? Who is the corpse? A series of questions burst into Zhang Mingxuan's mind. In the end, they all point to one name, Mu Bufan. Chapter 36. Chase. Track me quickly. Zhang Mingxian almost shouted these words. As soon as he finished speaking, the Gu Master Man immediately replied, I have found the exit and am following it. Previously, the sniffing insect soldiers divided into two groups, one going to Longteng, and the other, just at this time, they tracked the exit. Let's follow too. Zhang Mingxian gave the order and the three of them hurriedly set out on the road. Under the leadership of the Gu Master Man, they first came to the back of the mountain. This is the entrance to the cave. The Gu Master Man lifted up the thick hanging vine, revealing the hole hidden underneath. There is actually the second entrance, and it is so secretive. How on earth did that person find it? Zhang Mingxian felt unable to understand. If it weren't for the sniffing bugs, they wouldn't have found it anyway. Without staying here too long, the three of them continued on their way. Ye Feng sighed. After leaving the cave, I found a suitable place to bury Mu Bufan. A hole was dug in the ground, Mu Bufan's bones were lowered, and then the soil was buried again. For Mu Bufan, he has spent his whole life studying demonized plants, and the secret green space is a place he often comes to. Because this is a paradise for plants, there are also many demonized plants, and there are enough samples for him to study. So when he was dying, he finally chose to die in the green secret realm. Burying him in this secret realm is in line with his will. After the burial, Ye Feng dusted himself off and was about to leave. Suddenly, a slight vibration came from the nearby ground, which attracted Ye Feng's attention. For warriors, their perception is extremely sensitive, and any disturbance in the surroundings can basically be detected as long as they observe carefully. Whoosh! Ye Feng suddenly stabbed the long knife in his hand, nailing it directly to the ground, and then lifted it up. A black worm that had been broken into two parts was picked up by Ye Feng. Insect. The existence of bugs in the soil seems to be quite normal. But at that moment, Ye Feng always felt as if he was being targeted by someone. This unreasonable sixth sense is gradually cultivated in life and death fights. Ye Feng has thousands of life and death fight experiences. His perception in this area is relatively sharp and the probability of making mistakes is relatively low. Ye Feng doesn't know the specific reason, but there must be something wrong, and this insect may be unusual. As soon as I thought of this, the answer appeared by itself. A group of 3 people behind him approached with a clear purpose. Ye Feng recognized these 3 people and had met them twice before. The first time was outside the secret realm, and the second time was at the entrance of the cave where the demonized plants existed. Now, it's the third time. Although they have not met each other before, they are already familiar with each other after meeting several times. Ye Feng recognized them, and they also recognized Ye Feng, knowing that they had seen such a person before. I didn't expect that you found the second entrance in just a short time. I almost admire you. How did you do it? Zhang Mingxian looked at Ye Feng, his tone was curious, and he also looked at the soil on the ground with traces of turning. It can be said that it only took Ye Feng a short time to find the second entrance, because when Ye Feng arrived at the entrance of the demonized plant cave, he noticed it. After a while, Ye Feng left. He didn't think much about it, thinking it was just a simple matter. He left and unexpectedly headed to the second entrance. Ye Feng did not answer, but asked, "You found me because of this black bug?" Ye Feng doesn't know who the other party is, but he must be evil. Ye Feng is ready to fight at any time. Do you know how much effort and cost it takes to cultivate a sniffing bug? How dare you kill it? Seeing the sniffing bugs that had been broken into two parts, the Gu Master Man's expression was gloomy and uncertain. No wonder one of the sniffing bugs had suddenly lost its connection with him. It turns out this thing is called a sniffer bug. Ye Feng murmured softly, and he was sure that this thing was following him, allowing the three of them to follow him all the way. Sure enough, the world is so big and full of wonders, but methods like this are still quite difficult to deal with. Ye Feng had been as cautious as possible and did not hesitate to take away all the bodies, but he was still discovered and followed by this method. Ye Feng couldn't prevent this. How could he have imagined that the other party had such means? I am looking for you now with only one purpose, to hand over Mu Bufen's research results. Zhang Mingxian stopped talking nonsense and went straight to the point. I didn't get any research results. Ye Feng said. Do you think I will believe it? Zhang Mingxian said coldly. Master, there's no need to talk nonsense to him, I'll kill him right now and let's get it ourselves. The strong man accompanying him suddenly shouted loudly and attacked Ye Feng with a knife. Zhang Mingxian didn't stop him and tried Ye Feng's strength first. Boom! Ye Feng's energy and blood burst out, and Zhang Mingxian noticed the general's initial aura. Tisk, you're just in the early stages of becoming a general. Zhang Mingxian was completely relieved. His follower alone, with his late-stage military general strength, was enough to crush Ye Feng. However, when the distance between the two people was close and they were about to fight each other, Zhang Mingxuan's expression changed in surprise. Careful! You can see that Ye Feng's long sword carries infinite power and sharp edge. It seems like an ordinary sword, but it contains infinite mysteries. Unstoppable, totally unstoppable. No! The attendant screamed in fear, the long knife wiped his neck, and a red bloodline emerged. His body froze, his movements stopped, and he fell to the ground. Ye Feng calmly put away his knife and stood. Ye Feng was not surprised at all to be able to kill the opponent instantly with one strike. With the blessing of 30% of the sword intention, it would be unreasonable if he couldn't kill him instantly with one strike. The intention of the sword. The attack actually carries the intention of the sword. And at least 30% less. How is this possible? How is this possible? Zhang Mingxian was extremely shocked. A young general can actually comprehend 30% of the sword's meaning. In his early stage as a mighty king of martial arts, he also used a sword, and he was only able to comprehend the meaning of the sword. Why can an early stage military commander understand 30% of the sword's intention? Humph! Even if you have 30% sword intention, but your realm is too low, you will still die. Zhang Mingxuan's tone was cold. What he said was correct. The gap in realm was too large, which would bring about crushing in all aspects. As the king of martial, his energy and blood are much stronger than those of the generals, the martial arts he performs are of a higher level, his power is greater, and his combat experience is richer than that of the generals. Of course, the aspect of rich combat experience does not apply to Ye Feng. However, the crushing of qi and blood still exists, there is no doubt about this. Although there is an advantage in terms of sword intent, it is still weak to deal with King Wu in the early stage of the general. Suffer death. Zhang Mingxuan's powerful momentum in the early stage of King Wu was thick and huge, and was released without reservation. Chapter 37. Ye Feng narrowed his eyes, his fighting spirit soaring. Early stage of King Wu. Very good. I'm just looking for a stronger opponent to test my current strength. Blood Spear Shura. The spear appeared. At this moment, Ye Feng's pupils glowed with a strange red light. The black and purple spear was also coated with a layer of blood. The whole personality changes. A second ago, he was just a normal warrior in the general realm. The next second, the air of blood evil filled the air, and the murderous intent was so strong that it was outrageous, just like a butcher walking out of the Shura field. The oncoming indifference was as cold as winter and bone-chilling. Soul Master! You are still a Soul Master! Zhang Mingxian was shocked. He was well informed and immediately recognized that the ability Ye Feng was displaying at this moment was that of a Soul Master. As his thoughts floated, the spear turned into a bloody stream of light and was already killing him. Without thinking too much, Zhang Mingxian held a sword to resist, and even used the sword's intention to support him. Bang! A huge force came, making the tiger's mouth numb. Thump thump thump! Zhang Mingxian took several steps back. That's not all. Even if the attack was blocked, there was an invisible penetrating force that ignored the weapon's block and hit him directly in the chest. Zhang Mingxuan's face turned pale, a trace of blood spilled from the corner of his mouth, and his expression became extremely serious. The Soul Master's attack is really unpredictable. In a head-to-head fight, he actually came up short. This can't go on. He aimed his gaze at Ye Feng. Whoosh! Using his body skills, King Wu's speed was astonishing and he quickly approached Ye Feng. If the Soul Master's attack is difficult to deal with, then kill the Soul Master directly and everything will be over. His idea was very beautiful, but unfortunately, he underestimated the flying speed of Ye Feng's spear. Under the control of Ye Feng, the spear caught up with him almost in the blink of an eye. Feeling the looming crisis, Zhang Mingxian had no choice but to stop and deal with it. The two sides fought each other with all their strength, and the ripples of energy generated by the collision knocked down several giant trees around them. And once it was hit by the attack from the front, the entire giant tree exploded, turning into sawdust and splattering, and the scene was once filled with sand and rocks. So strong. The Gu Master Man was severely shocked by the scene in front of him. Zhang Mingxian is the son of the head of the Zhang family. He has outstanding talent since he was a child and has extremely high martial arts qualifications. At a young age, he has practiced to become the king of martial arts. From childhood to adulthood, he has gone through many battles and has never been defeated. However, such a genius was suppressed and beaten today and fell into a disadvantage. Could it be that we can only use that trump card? Zhang Mingxian has tried his best, but he is still unable to defeat him. If this continues, he will definitely die. But that trump card has too many side effects. Once used, it will have an impact on his martial arts foundation, and he will be weak for a long time and need to be nursed back to health for a long time. I don't care. I'm going to lose my life. How can I care about the future? Zhang Mingxian took out a red pill and swallowed it immediately. Boom! The majestic and violent energy exploded instantly in his body, almost bursting him. Ah! Zhang Mingxian was like a wild beast, with a ferocious face and roaring loudly. The muscles in the body bulged, and the meridians exploded one by one, like water pipes. Some even burst open, and the blood surged. His aura suddenly surged to the peak of King Wu in just a short moment. What kind of pill is that? So powerful! Ye Feng was surprised. Call out! The spear shot quickly. However, this time, he was cut off by Zhang Mingxian. The moment it was cut off, the magic-breaking spear decomposed into energy, and then reunited to form a spear. Ye Feng attracted the demon-breaking gun and looked at Zhang Mingxian with a solemn expression. Although the Soul Soldier is not afraid of being broken, for the Soul Master, the soul power is attached to the Soul Soldier, and every time it is destroyed, it will cause a certain amount of damage to the Soul Master. For example, at this time, Ye Feng's head buzzed, and he felt severe pain. Fortunately, the injury was not serious and he recovered quickly. He. Did you still think you would be my opponent? You forced me to use this last resort. Next, you are waiting to bear my anger. I will let you know what life is worse than death. Boom! Zhang Mingxian exerted force under his feet, with terrifying force, creating a huge pit in the ground. His whole body was like an out-of-barreled cannonball, rushing towards Ye Feng at an incredible speed. So fast! Ye Feng's eyes suddenly widened. With this speed and strength, he will not be his opponent. Can't beat. Can't escape. What to do? As his thoughts flashed, Zhang Mingxuan's ferocious face appeared in front of Ye Feng. Die! The long knife struck Ye Feng with supreme power. Boom! After the knife was passed, dust and sawdust flew into the air. Several giant trees hugging each other behind Ye Feng were all split into two, with neat and smooth cuts. The confident look on Zhang Mingxuan's face suddenly solidified. He looked up suddenly. High in the sky, Ye Feng stepped on the magic gun and looked down at him. At the critical moment just now, Ye Feng suddenly thought of whether he could make the magic-breaking gun fly and then fly with him. Sure enough, he escaped Zhang Mingxuan's attack. Although King Wu is powerful, he cannot fly. Boom! Zhang Mingxian bent his legs and jumped suddenly. The ground sank into a big pit again. The strong force made him jump dozens of meters high. But there was still a long way to go before Ye Feng, so he had no choice but to fall again. He thought about using the tops of nearby trees as a jumping-off point, but Ye Feng had already thought about it, so he flew very high at this time. Get down here! Zhang Mingxian gritted his teeth. Ye Feng took out his ears and looked at him leisurely, smiling and saying nothing. After a while, Ye Feng seemed to have eyes on his back, and he turned around with a knife. Several brightly colored ghost-patterned sword wasps that stabbed hard with their sharp tail sting were killed by Ye Feng and dropped. There is a Gu Master on the opposite side, and Ye Feng has been on guard for a long time. The Gu Master man below said secretly that it was a pity. Humph! You're lucky. I'll let you go today, but next time I encounter you, you won't be so lucky. After Zhang Mingxian said these words, he took the Gu Master man with him and hurriedly evacuated. But soon, he discovered something was wrong. Look up! Grass! Sure enough, Ye Feng followed him high in the sky. Wherever he goes, Ye Feng follows him. Don't be ungrateful and shameless. If you offend me, I won't leave. Let's see if you can stay high in the sky. As far as I know, a soul master's soul power will weaken as it is consumed. When your soul power becomes weak and you cannot stay high in the sky, you will die. Zhang Mingxuan's tone was fierce and threatening. Let's see whether you get weaker faster or I get weaker faster. Ye Feng said with a half smile. Methods that can instantly improve your realm basically have side effects. The more you improve, the greater the side effects. Even though he is so fierce now, he is actually just a 3-second man and will soon be weak. That's why he ran away in despair. I am afraid that after becoming weak, I will no longer be my opponent, so I need to run now. When Ye Feng said these words, Zhang Mingxian looked unnatural and hesitantly retorted, why am I weak? I'm not. Before he finished speaking, a feeling of weakness came over him, and all the strength in his body seemed to be drained away. Zhang Mingxuan's face was pale and his figure was swaying. He didn't even have the strength to stand, so he slumped down. Quick! Take me and run! Zhang Mingxian became anxious and urged the Gu Master man beside him. Before he could make any move, Ye Feng had already landed. No! You can't kill me! I am the young master of the Zhang family, and my Zhang family is the top family. There are as many strong people as there are, if you kill me, they will never let you go. For the first time, Zhang Mingxian felt that death was so close to him. As early as the discovery of Mu Bufen's burial place, he had already notified the family for reinforcements. Now he only hopes that the family masters can arrive in time. It sounds like if I don't kill you, I will let you go. Ye Feng sneered, raised the knife and dropped it. Zhang Mingxian, a dignified martial arts king and a famous martial arts genius, was killed by Ye Feng. The nearby Gu masters were too frightened to move. He is good at raising voodoos, but they can't do anything to Ye Feng. In terms of martial arts strength, he is only at the martial arts master level and is no match for Ye Feng. Besides waiting to die, he was still waiting to die. His heart was filled with despair. Ye Feng did not kill him immediately, but put a knife on his neck and said coldly, "You'd better answer the questions I ask you honestly." "Yes. Please ask me. As long as I know, I will tell you honestly." Gu Master said tremblingly. Other side. There is a cave with demonized plants. A team of several people came in a hurry. The leader's aura was extremely powerful. When facing him, it was like a majestic mountain bearing down on him, making it difficult to breathe. No matter who was present, no matter how arrogant he usually was, he turned to the dog with his tail between his legs and did not dare to look at this person. This person is actually a strong martial artist. Chapter 38. In the woods. Ye Feng was thoughtful. The Gu Master man had just been interrogated and asked a lot of information about the Zhang family. For example, some masters from the Zhang family have already arrived, perhaps already there, and they are led by a strong man from the Wuzong. There are even stronger masters in the Zhang family, such as the martial master realm. Such a family is not something that the current Ye Feng can compete with. I also asked about the poisonous insects. How long will it take for the sniffing insects to be unable to smell the smell I left? Ye Feng asked. At least more than a day. The Gu Master Man replied. Then if I fly away, can I still be tracked? Ye Feng asked again. How can you fly? The Gu Master Man said subconsciously. To have the ability to fly, one must be above the martial emperor, which is a terrifying existence. But as soon as the words left his mouth, he remembered, didn't Ye Feng fly just now? Although it was not real flying, it was achieved with the help of soul weapons. The smell can stay in the air for a short time, and will be quickly washed away by the airflow, and then it cannot be traced. After receiving this affirmative answer, Ye Feng finally felt relieved. Otherwise, being chased and bitten by the Zhang family would be a bit overwhelming. I've said everything I need to say, please spare me. The Gu Master Man begged for mercy. Spare you? Ye Feng smiled sarcastically. The sword flashed and blood flew out. The Gu Master Man's eyes widened, he covered his neck and slowly fell down. As an enemy, how can I let you go? Ye Feng searched all the useful things from several people. If it had been just now, Ye Feng might not have done this just to be on the safe side. But now, I know that the smell is in the air and cannot stay for long, so it will be fine if I take the things away. If something can be tracked, then Ye Feng himself will also be tracked. Ye Feng stepped on the magic gun again, flew high and left here. After these things, Ye Feng became more and more aware of the huge benefits of soul masters. Over there in the demonized plant cave, several blood-mouthed piranha plants have been killed by the Zhang family's team of experts. Unfortunately, this type of demonized plant didn't have much value, and they didn't even bother to collect the corpses. Instead, I checked carefully to see if there were any seedlings or seeds nearby. If there were seedlings or seeds, they would be precious, but unfortunately there were none. Third Elder, when Master Ming Xian contacted me, he mentioned this location, but he could not be found nearby and could not be contacted. One of the Zhang family members said to the powerful Wuzong leader. This strong man from the Wuzong, named Zhang He, is the third elder of the Zhang family and Zhang Mingxuan's uncle. Let's take a look at the cave first. Under the leadership of Zhang He, the group walked into the cave. Finally, we came to Dongting. Where was the promised burial place of Mu Bufan? Why is it so empty? There is nothing. Zhang He frowned and ordered, send out the sniffing bugs and let me investigate. A Zhang family Gu master came out and released the sniffing insects prepared in advance. I soon gained something and found the remaining breath. Follow all the way and come outside. Third Elder, there is another exit, and we discovered outside that the auras of Master Ming Xian and the two accompanying him were all going in the same direction, the Gu master reported. Chase. The Zhang family and his party followed him all the way. After a while, several corpses came into view in front of him. Actuan. Master. Who is it? Who did it? He actually killed my good nephew. If you dare to kill my Zhang family, I will never let him go. Keep tracking me. We must find this murderer. I will eat him alive and cut him into pieces with 1,000 knives. Zhang He's eyes were about to burst, his eyes were red, and he almost burst out of fire. Hurry up and track him down. Zhang He yelled at the Gu master. Third Elder, we can't trace him, the murderer's aura has disappeared, the Gu master said with a grimace. Disappeared? How did it disappear? Zhang He asked. I don't know. It stopped when we got here. I suspect that the other party may have flown away, so the breath cannot be retained for too long. The Gu master made a guess. Impossible. A warrior who can fly is at least a martial emperor. What is a strong martial emperor doing in the green secret realm? Zhang He didn't believe it. Besides, it is impossible for Zhang Mingxian to offend such a powerful person. Wait. He can fly, could he be a soul master? Zhang He suddenly thought of this possibility. Soul masters with a certain level of strength have strong enough soul power to fly with themselves with the help of flying soul soldiers. Zhang He knows this, and it is also a major difficulty for soul masters. But these fatal injuries seem to have been caused by a warrior. He is both a warrior and a soul master. Zhang He felt his mind was in chaos. Record the characteristics of the murderer's breath for me. Zhang He asked. Yes. Gu master responded. Quick. Follow me back to the teleportation point. Let's block it outside the secret realm. He felt that the murderer might not have left the secret place yet. As long as you go out before the murderer, wait outside and check the people who leave the secret realm. When someone with the same breath characteristics appears, there is no doubt that he is the murderer. What they didn't know was that Ye Feng had already arrived at the teleportation point. A suction force acted on Ye Feng, gradually strengthening. At this time, if you stay away from here, the transmission can be aborted. Ye Feng allowed the suction to strengthen. When it reached a certain critical point, he was sucked away and disappeared into the secret realm. After another teleportation process, Ye Feng was teleported outside. There was no one outside at this time. Ye Feng still stood on the magic-breaking gun, flying towards the distance and disappearing into the distance. Wait until all the smell in the air disappears. Zhang He and his party just came out of the secret realm. Third Elder, no trace of the murderer has been found outside yet. The Gu Master reported. Okay. Let's wait outside here. Zhang He said. Ye Feng flew for a certain distance and felt that he couldn't hold on any longer. Due to excessive consumption of soul power, he had a splitting headache, flew unsteadily, and almost fell from a high altitude. I had no choice but to come down immediately and return to the ground. This place is at least dozens of miles away from the entrance to the Green Secret Realm, so Ye Feng can rest peacefully for a while. Wait until your condition recovers a bit before heading back to school. Ye Feng found a big tree and sat down with his back against it. During the break, I opened Mu Bufen's research diary and started reading, focusing on the ones related to Yunsang Veng. After 1,302 experiments, we finally found that the solution to promote the germination of the seeds of the mulberry vine requires the use of 5 materials including wood marrow crystals, source soil. Stir to make seedling soil, bury the seeds in it, and then follow the instructions at a certain interval, irrigate a certain amount of alien blood. The content inside is written in great detail. There are not only seed cultivation plans, but also subsequent growth plans. Each plan was discovered by chance after hundreds or thousands of studies. Seeing this, Ye Feng admired him from the bottom of his heart. This Mu Bufen was really extraordinary. It's a pity that he was poisoned and died unexpectedly, otherwise his achievements would be far more than this. Ye Feng read the information about Yunsang Vine more carefully. For other types, just take a quick look at them temporarily. If you need to use them in the future, you can take a closer look at them. When you turn to the last page of the book, the handwriting changed from black ink to red. No. It's not red ink, this is blood. These words are all written with blood. Chapter 39. Hatred. I am immortal, I wish I could eat the Zhang family's flesh. Drink the Zhang family's blood. At the beginning of the text, a strong hatred, spanning 20 years, rushes towards me. Are the Zhang family in the article the same as the Zhang family that I just offended? Ye Feng then looked down. The Zhang family, in order to obtain my research results, intercepted and killed me several times. Fortunately, I have many demonized plants, and I was able to escape several times, and killed many of their masters, including King Wu and even King Wu. Unfortunately, I am alone and weak. After all, I can't defeat them. Many powerful demonized plants died due to the fight, and they were plotted by their poisonous goo insects. I couldn't escape death. I'm not sure whose hands my research results will eventually fall into. Anyway, just don't be those beasts from the Zhang family. However, my god-eating moss seedlings were taken away by them. I just hope that they can't find a cultivation plan. Otherwise, with the Zhang family's ambition, letting the god-eating moss grow will be a disaster for this world. This is the end of Words in Blood. You can feel Mu Bufen's unwillingness, hatred, and helplessness from it. The article mentions highly poisonous voodoo insects. Zhang Mingxuan's Zhang family also has a tradition of cultivating voodoos. It is probably the same Zhang family. It's really a narrow road for enemies. What worries Ye Feng the most is the god-eating moss mentioned in it. Ye Feng immediately turned back to the previous page of the book, where there was an introduction to the god-eating moss, which was also Mu Bufen's last research. God-eating moss is a type of moss that can continuously reproduce, grow, and expand. It is highly poisonous. It is said that it has grown to its limit. The overwhelming god-eating moss is like a turbulent wave. Wherever it passes, there is only dead silence. Even the gods it can be swallowed, hence its name. God-eating moss is the most advanced type of demonized plants that Mu Bufen has obtained in his life. Unfortunately, before it could grow up, something unexpected happened, and the god-eating moss seedlings were taken away by the Zhang family. No wonder the Zhang family tried so hard to find Mu Bufen's burial place, just to find a breeding plan to cultivate the god-eating moss. Judging from the research diary, Mu Bufen has done some research on god-eating moss. Fortunately, these researches have not fallen into the hands of the Zhang family. 20 years have passed and I haven't heard of any major incident involving the god-eating moss in the Zhang family. Maybe it wasn't cultivated? If the god-eating moss seedlings are still in the hands of the Zhang family and are still alive, Ye Feng must find a way to get the god-eating moss. Having almost rested enough, Ye Feng was ready to return. Suddenly, the long-lost clue to the treasure chest popped up again. Treasure box clue, a red treasure box appears in the Zhang family mansion. Please go and open it. Red treasure chest. Ye Feng's breath was stagnant. That's a 6th level treasure chest. At the right time, a line of red arrows appeared on the ground, heading in a certain direction. It seems that the Zhang family and I must face each other. Whether it was for enmity just now, for getting the god-eating moss, or for opening the red treasure chest, conflict with the Zhang family was inevitable in the end. However, the Zhang family is too powerful, so how to open this treasure chest requires careful planning. Let's go back first. After traveling for a while, Ye Feng returned to the provincial capital. Find Angkeng Pharmacy and give them 10 King Fengko. Ye Feng's mission was completed. The other herbal medicines obtained were also sold to drug stores for a total of 300,000 yuan. For ordinary people, 300,000 yuan is considered a huge amount of money, but for warriors, it can only be said to be not bad. In addition, the items obtained from several members of the Zhang family were also sold on the black market, selling for a total of 6 million. The most precious one among them is Zhang Mingxuan's battle knife, which has a grade of level 4. This knife alone has sold for 5 million. Ye Feng also used a knife. He could have used it himself, but thinking that it was Zhang Mingxuan's weapon and would be easily recognized, he decided to sell it. With this money, just buy a new one. Ye Feng went to a large equipment mall and after some selection, he finally spent 6 million and bought a brand new one. This knife is made from the bones of a king-level beast. It has a very hard texture and a beautiful shape. Such a 4th-level sword is enough to be used to the martial king realm. Earn money quickly and spend money faster. Ye Feng sighed. Just a weapon can easily cost millions, which is really not affordable for ordinary people. If it is a more advanced weapon, it will be even more expensive. As he approached Longteng Academy, Ye Feng received a reminder that the task was completed and the credits were received. Finally reached 10,000 credits. Ye Feng walked into the school and immediately attracted a lot of attention. Now Ye Feng is a famous person. He punched Zhao Xiang hundreds of times in an instant before and knocked him into a coma. He still hasn't woken up yet. He also heard that he was incontinent. How can he be miserable? The video of the battle has long been circulated in the campus online forum, and almost all teachers and students have seen it. Under the gaze of everyone, Ye Feng walked into the Shensu Hall. This is the place to apply and advance to student level. There is a tutor wearing glasses sitting inside, responsible for reviewing applications. Teacher, I would like to apply for promotion to senior student. Ye Feng explained his intention. Senior student? That requires 10,000 credits. You can apply again when you have saved up enough. The review instructor said subconsciously. Ye Feng was very popular recently, and he happened to recognize it. In just a few days, he felt that it was impossible for Ye Feng to accumulate enough 10,000 credits. I have 10,000 credits now. Ye Feng said. What? The review instructor was surprised and immediately made inquiries. Sure enough, 10,000 credits, no more, no less. After being stunned for several seconds, he took a deep look at Ye Feng and said, Okay, I will promote you to the student level. The operation is also simple. Modify the school information, Ye Feng's identity, and the junior student to become a senior student. The admission period is June 20th, and today is June 30th. In just 10 days, he was promoted from a junior student to a senior student, completing a journey that would take others at least a year. He is the student who has been promoted the fastest in so many years. After Ye Feng leaves, many students outside poured in. What's the situation? There are so many of you, are you all applying for promotion? The review instructor was surprised that they were all gathered together. No, we are just curious. Did Ye Feng come in just now and apply for promotion to a senior student? They saw Ye Feng come in and leave quickly. They had already made some guesses in their minds and found it unbelievable, so they came in to confirm. Yes. The review instructor nodded. Now the information has been updated, you can check it yourself. Students' grade information does not involve privacy, can be displayed publicly, and can be queried. They immediately checked online. Ye Feng, senior student. Really? Really a senior student? All the students present were extremely surprised. Many of them didn't even have 1 credit, but Ye Feng saved enough 10,000 and was promoted to a senior student. Comparing people with others will lead to death, and comparing goods with goods will lead to throwing away. After Ye Feng left the Shensu Hall, walking towards Su Chanyi, now that he is a senior student, he can report to her and become her student. The blue arrow on the ground extends all the way to the advanced student teaching area. Chapter 40. When Ye Feng arrived at the advanced student teaching area, he did not see Su Chanyi. The blue arrow did not stop and continued to extend forward. Ye Feng continued to follow up. In the end, it actually extended outside the school, with no end in sight. Su Chanyi is not at school. Are you, classmate Ye Feng? A female senior instructor saw Ye Feng and asked. She was also one of the mentors who watched the battle that day, and was deeply impressed by Ye Feng. Yes, mentor. Ye Feng replied. What seems to be the matter with you, she asked. I came here to see instructor Su Chanyi, but she doesn't seem to be here. Ye Feng asked. She went out 2 days ago and will probably be back soon. She has a good relationship with Su Chanyi and knows that this is the case. After saying that, he asked casually, you are coming to see her now. Are you already a senior student? Yes. Ye Feng nodded. After receiving Ye Feng's affirmative answer, the female instructor looked at Ye Feng in surprise. After many years of teaching at Longteng Academy, this is the first time I have encountered such a talented student. If he hadn't had a good relationship with Su Chanyi, he would have started poaching now. Since he was not at school, Ye Feng had to wait. Taking advantage of this time, Ye Feng prepared to collect materials and cultivate yunsang vine seeds. A total of 5 materials are needed to make seedling soil. Wood marrow crystal, source of soil, slightly. Among them, raw source soil and the other 3 types can be purchased in the market. Even in schools, you can use credits to exchange for various materials, including these 4. For Ye Feng, it is not cost-effective to redeem the credits for cheats. If the cheats you redeem can be sold outside, you can also exchange them for money. Unfortunately, this is not possible. Doing so is illegal and you can only practice and use it yourself. Ye Feng always has treasure chests that can be opened, and he will always find the skills in martial arts, and he can directly realize them to perfection, which is much faster than practicing, so there is no need to exchange the secret books and practice on his own. Then use it for redemption. There are 4 materials that can be redeemed. Otherwise, if you spend money to buy it, the price will be very high and you will need to spend a lot of money. According to the proportion given by Mu Bufan, how much material is needed can be exchanged in proportion to be enough. These materials are relatively rare, and the redemption price is also expensive, costing a total of 3,000 credits. The student level is based on the total number of credits recorded. Regardless of whether they are spent or not, they will not be downgraded. After exchanging the 4 materials, there are only 2 things left, which require the material wood marrow crystal and the blood of alien beasts used to irrigate the seeds. You can get the blood of alien beasts by yourself by going out and hunting. Mainly wood marrow crystals, which are relatively difficult to obtain. There is currently no stock on the market, and you can't exchange it at the school, so you have to go out and look for it yourself. Ye Feng inquired about information about the wood marrow crystal, and finally learned that there was a chance to obtain this thing in the Misty Forest. The Misty Forest is very well known, and Ye Feng knows it without looking up. It is shrouded in fog all year round, and it is very easy to get lost when entering it. You need to be very alert to avoid getting lost in it. Ye Feng is going to wait for Su Chanyi to come back, report to her, become her student, and see if there is any chance to open the blue treasure chest on her body. Then set off to the Misty Forest to find the wood marrow crystal. 3 days passed while waiting. In the past 3 days, Ye Feng not only read Mu Bufan's diary to learn more about demonized plants, but also read another book. Detailed explanation of raising gu. This was found from the man who was a gu master in the Zhang family. It contained a lot of knowledge about cultivating gu. After reading it, Ye Feng had a better understanding of cultivating gu. It would be good to know more about it, and it might be useful to deal with the Zhang family in the future. Su Chanyi hasn't come back yet. The blue arrow pointing to Su Chanyi has changed frequently in the past few days, but the general direction has not changed. It's like, moving back and forth in the same area. Ye Feng felt confused and went to the previous female tutor again to ask about the situation. But the answer she got was that she couldn't contact Su Chanyi. What happened? Ye Feng frowned. At this moment, the blue arrow on the ground changed to a certain extent again. As long as he can move, it at least means that the person is still alive. He may have been delayed by something. Ye Feng did not intend to wait any longer. Get on the road first and head to the misty forest. Coincidentally, the direction pointed by the blue arrow is the direction of the misty forest. If you're lucky, you might meet Su Chanyi on her way back. At the same time, in a dense forest somewhere, there are towering ancient trees, and the air is filled with thick white fog. The vision is not clear, seriously affecting people's senses. Every step you take here, you have to be careful, not only to identify the direction, but also to be careful of snakes, insects, rats, ants, and some highly poisonous plants. A woman with a powerful figure and a beautiful face is located in this dense forest. If Ye Feng were here right now, he would definitely recognize that this woman is Su Chanyi. At this time, Su Chanyi was in a bit of a bad state. Her cheeks were hot and flushed. I don't know if it was because she had just started the technique or for other reasons. Her pretty eyebrows were furrowed, solemn and filled with resentment, and she turned her head to look in a certain direction. Get up again and leave the place quickly. After hurriedly walking, Ye Feng came to the edge of the misty forest. At a glance, the boundless forest was shrouded in thick white fog, making it impossible to see clearly what was going on inside. This is the case here all year round. No one knows the reason. It is also somewhat magical. It is a well-known and dangerous place. Dangerous place contains two meanings, danger and adventure. Along the way, I didn't meet Su Chanyi. Ye Feng glanced at the ground. The blue arrow was still on the ground, extending all the way into the misty forest. It cannot be determined from this that Su Chanyi is also in the misty forest, maybe further away, but in this direction. Taking a deep breath, Ye Feng stepped into the misty forest, and his whole body was enveloped in white mist. This white mist will actually affect perception to a certain extent. When a warrior observes the surrounding environment, he not only relies on his eyes, but other body senses are also involved. For example, ears, nose, and even air convection and the touch brought to the skin are all ways for warriors to observe the world. This method is called perception. I thought that the white fog affected vision and made it easier for people to get lost. Only after being immersed in the scene did I realize that a whole set of perceptions had been affected. For example, the sound coming from the surrounding environment, under the influence of white fog, makes it difficult to distinguish the specific location. This blue arrow has become my guidepost. Ye Feng discovered that no matter how the white fog affected his perception, he could just follow the blue arrows without thinking and he would be sure not to circle in circles. Follow the blue arrow and move forward. Chapter 41. The fog is thick and shrouded in this dense forest. Ye Feng was walking inside. From time to time, there are some strange sounds coming from the surroundings. I don't know what is coming from it, and it is difficult to tell from which direction it comes. Ye Feng is more focused and pays attention to all changes in the environment. Once any unexpected changes occur, we can respond promptly. As soon as the thought arises, something strange happens. Whoosh! A venomous snake ejected from the nearby tree crown, opened its mouth, and bit Ye Feng. Ye Feng instinctively drew his sword and struck, and the sword light drew a beautiful arc. The poisonous snake was cut in two by Ye Feng's sword. It fell to the ground and continued to twist and struggle. After a while, it gradually became silent. Situations like this are quite common here. It doesn't stop here, but wherever there are many snakes, insects, rats and ants, people may be suddenly attacked by them when they move around. Lying in disguise and then suddenly attacking are the common tricks of this kind of creature. Ye Feng followed the blue arrow and continued to move forward, while looking for the wood marrow crystal. The method is also simple. You only need to pay attention to where the trees are larger and attract creatures. If you move around nearby, you may find wood marrow crystals. Because, here in the misty forest, there is a kind of pith tree. When it grows to a certain year, a liquid will be produced in the trunk. As time goes by, the liquid condenses into a solid, which is the wood marrow crystal. Some creatures like the smell of woodpith crystals. Where there are woodpith crystals, there may be creatures wandering nearby. I don't know how long I walked before there was sudden movement from ahead. Ye Feng slowed down, used some grass and shrubs as a cover to hide his figure, and slowly approached. Finally, it stops somewhere. Through the gaps between the branches and leaves, Ye Feng saw a huge pith tree not far ahead. I'm afraid not, it's at least 300 years old. Judging from the thickness, this huge pith tree should be more than 300 years old. Those that are 100 years old will have the conditions to produce woodpith crystals, and those that are 300 years old will produce woodpith crystals of better quality. According to Mubufen, using wood marrow crystals from a higher age has more nutrients and allows the mulberry vine to germinate and grow faster. That's it, but... Dong dong dong! On the trunk of the giant tree, there is a group of saw-toothed woodpeckers. They are very large, with beaks more than 1 meter long. They peck at the trunk, and there is a sound of pecking wood. They are also a kind of strange beast, and their strength is almost at the warrior level, which is equivalent to the warrior level of a warrior. For Ye Feng, it poses no threat at all. Ye Feng appeared immediately and killed him. Shocked by the silence, the saw-toothed woodpeckers spread their wings and took off, reaching high in the sky, circling back and forth to observe the situation below. I saw a human being who came to the trunk of the tree, reached into the hole of the tree, and quickly took out pieces of wood marrow crystals. Those tree holes were not formed naturally, but they were made with great effort, for the sake of the wood marrow crystals inside. But now, this human being is completely at a disadvantage. Can this be tolerated? I definitely can't bear it. With a whoop, dozens of saw-whet woodpeckers swooped down from the sky. The sharp and jagged beak is like a sharp sword. Under the swooping effect of gravity acceleration, it carries the force of breaking through the air and stabs Ye Feng. I didn't even bother to pay attention to you, but you still took the initiative to come to me. Hey! Since you're looking for death, I'll let you die. Condensation. The magic-breaking spear appeared in the void. Boo-hoo-hoo! It burst out at a speed faster than that of a saw-toothed woodpecker, darting back and forth several times in the air. Dozens of woodpeckers fell from the sky like kites with broken strings. Bang 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 bang! The bird corpse fell to the ground. There were holes in the vital parts of the body. It was bleeding and twitching. After a while, there was no movement. Ye Feng continued to dig for wood marrow crystals. This group of woodpeckers helped. Wherever they pecked, there were basically wood marrow crystals inside. Soon, Ye Feng dug out everything he could, and the quantity was completely enough. It will probably take a long time for this tree to form wood marrow crystals next time. This time I came out just to find the wood marrow crystal. Now that I have found it, I should have gone back. But Ye Feng was a little curious, where is Su Chanyi now? Following his thoughts, Ye Feng moved forward a little further. We also discovered a phenomenon, the change range of the blue arrow is larger than before. From this, it can be concluded that the distance between the two parties is short enough. When the distance is far, even if Su Chanyi moves, the angle of Ye Feng's arrow at this end will change relatively little. Now that the distance is close, if she moves casually, the change will be more obvious. Hey? Who? Suddenly there was a movement nearby. Ye Feng's whole body tensed up, the sword in his hand was placed in front of him, his soul power was running, and he was ready to use the magic-breaking gun at any time. Whoosh! A fiery red figure quickly rushed out from the direction of the nearby dense grass. Su Chanyi. Seeing the other person's face clearly, Ye Feng recognized him. This person was none other than Su Chanyi. The moment Su Chanyi saw Ye Feng, she was also startled. A long knife with a fiery aura was aimed at Ye Feng and struck at him. After seeing clearly that it was Ye Feng, she quickly stopped. However, his body did not stop in time, and he collided with Ye Feng. A wonderful feeling spread throughout Ye Feng's body. Ye Feng? Why are you here? Su Chanyi was panting and quickly took a few steps back. With her cheeks flushed, she looked like a ripe peach waiting to be picked, making people want to take a bite. Logically speaking, with her majestic martial arts status, she would not be out of breath like this even if she ran continuously for most of the day. So why? Moreover, she looked a little embarrassed. In some places, her clothes, and even her close-fitting fiery red armor, had several cuts, exposing the snowy skin underneath. Whether it was an illusion or not, Ye Feng always felt that something was wrong with Su Chanyi at this time. Especially when you look at yourself, why do you feel, Weird? Confused, Ye Feng replied immediately, I came here to find some materials, but I didn't expect to meet here. Ye Feng said half-truthfully. Just now, I had been following the arrow and running into Su Chanyi, which was actually expected. Su Chanyi nodded and was about to say something more when she suddenly thought of something and her expression became nervous. Now is not the time to chat, come with me. After saying that, no matter what, he grabbed Ye Feng's arm and started to run away quickly. Seemingly worried that Ye Feng would not be able to keep up with her, he hesitated for a moment, gritted his teeth, and hugged Ye Feng, half dragging him to run. Putting aside the accident of the collision just now, this was Ye Feng's first time having close contact with a woman, especially a woman with a hot body and beautiful appearance. Feeling the delicate touch of his body, Ye Feng's heartbeat accelerated slightly. Chapter 42. As for Su Chanyi, her reaction was even greater than that of Ye Feng. Her ears, which were already red, suddenly turned redder. She also clearly felt that her body temperature had risen a lot. This damn poison! Su Chanyi cursed secretly. If it weren't for the toxins in her body, she wouldn't be so embarrassed. Only by operating the exercises more carefully and suppressing certain thoughts did he gradually return to normal. The two of them ran away in the dense forest and moved forward quickly. Looking at Su Chanyi who was so close, Ye Feng had an idea. Such a great opportunity, why not, try it again? Ye Feng squinted and looked at Su Chanyi's abdomen. The blue treasure box was right in front of him, moving with Su Chanyi. I really didn't mean to eat you. Why did this blue treasure box grow on you? I had to find a way to open it. Before taking action, Ye Feng thought to himself. The main thing is that the level of this treasure chest is not low, reaching blue, it can definitely bring out good things. If it is a low-level one, such as white or yellow, it doesn't matter if it can be opened or not. The blue treasure chest must be opened. Thinking of this, Ye Feng reached out and touched it intentionally or unintentionally. The moment her hand touched her abdomen, Su Chanyi's body trembled very obviously, as if she had received an electric shock. A certain thought that he had finally suppressed suddenly burst out, and he was almost uncontrollable. What are you doing? Su Chanyi shouted, with the resentment of a little woman in her eyes. God knew she had gone to great lengths to suppress the toxins in her body, and this guy came to cause trouble and almost made her lose control. No, there was a bug just now, I want to swat it away. Ye Feng used a bad excuse. At the same time, I secretly sighed that this method really couldn't open the treasure chest. There are bugs? Why didn't I notice them? Su Chanyi looked suspiciously at Ye Feng up and down. If you weren't paying attention, you definitely didn't notice it. Ye Feng said seriously. Su Chanyi nodded, thinking it made sense. She really didn't have any extra attention and was distracted by too many things. Okay, hurry up and get out of here. The two men stopped running. Su Chanyi started to drive Ye Feng away. While speaking, his eyes were not on Ye Feng, but he was paying attention to the surrounding movements. It seems that he is worried about the coming of some kind of danger. What about you? Ye Feng asked, feeling that something must be wrong with Su Chanyi. She paused, I can't leave yet. Why? Ye Feng was even more confused. From the look on her face, it was clear that she was avoiding something. I haven't been back for several days, so I probably just kept wandering around here. Ye Feng doesn't think it's because Su Chanyi can't get out. It's just a misty forest, so it shouldn't be a problem for her. The real situation should be that she doesn't want to go out. What is the reason that makes her not want to leave here? It looked like he was running away from something, but he didn't want to leave here, and would rather be chased all the time. This approach would seem contradictory to anyone who sees it. Stop asking and leave quickly. If you don't leave, you will be implicated by me. As soon as she finished speaking, Su Chanyi's face changed and she cursed, he's here again. Run first, we'll talk later. Su Chanyi hugged Ye Feng again and started a new round of escape. When the two figures disappeared into the mist in the forest. But a figure appeared in the original position. This figure was completely shrouded in black robes, making it difficult to see his specific face. He, you run and I chase. It's so interesting. I'm so excited. The voice of the man in black robe was dry, like rusty gears in the sand, harsh and unpleasant. He stuck out his tongue, salivating, feeling the smell in the air. Hey? Why is there an extra young man? He. I'm even more excited. After saying that, he chased in the direction the two left. Although he failed to catch it for the time being, he seemed to enjoy the fun of chasing his prey. Su Chanyi and Ye Feng stopped somewhere. Observed the surrounding environment. It should be safe here for the time being. After a while, we just remember to change places. She glared at Ye Feng with her beautiful eyes. I told you to leave quickly, but you didn't listen. It's too late now. You can't leave even if you want to. When she blames people, her little expression is also very charming. How do I know what's going on with you? Ye Feng spread his hands and looked innocent. Why don't you tell me what happened? Su Chanyi sighed, organized her words, and explained, a few days ago, I came out to look for something. But I didn't expect that I would be targeted by a dead pervert who kept following me. I rely on this misty forest to deal with him. If I leave the misty forest, he will definitely catch up with me. Hearing this, Ye Feng suddenly realized, no wonder he always felt that Su Chanyi was wandering back and forth in the same area. Who is this person? Is he very strong? Even you are no match for him. Ye Feng was surprised that Su Chanyi could only run away. It seemed that he was very strong. I don't know his specific identity, but he's just a pervert. In terms of strength, I briefly fought against him. He should be in the late stage of King Wu. Originally, with my strength in the middle stage of Martial King, I don't need to be so afraid of him. It's just that I accidentally got poisoned by him. Now I need to keep circulating my energy and blood to suppress the explosion of poison. In this way, I will not be able to exert my full strength, because once I exert my full strength, there will be no extra energy and blood to suppress the toxins in my body. It is precisely because of this that she needs to keep running away and dealing with things. What poison did you get? Ye Feng asked. No wonder looking at Su Chanyi, she felt something was wrong, at least it was different from usual. It turned out to be poisoning. Su Chanyi faltered. Looking at her coy look, she seemed to find it difficult to speak. I'm trying to detoxify. There are many medicinal herbs in this misty forest. I found some while wandering around. She changed the topic directly. However, there is one last herb left, called cliff flower, and I need its pollen. But in my current situation, it's not easy to get the cliff flower. Cliff flowers grow on cliffs, often in very steep places. In the past, even if it was a steep cliff, it would be no problem for the mighty King Wu. But now, most of Su Chanyi's energy and blood are used to suppress the toxins. It is not easy to use force, which may easily give the toxins a chance to explode. Once it breaks out, it is difficult to suppress it. Chapter 43. Ye Feng thought for a while and said aloud, there is a cliff nearby. Just stay here and I will help you look for it. As long as we can, we must help. Mainly because Ye Feng alone was unable to deal with that enemy. After Su Chanyi detoxifies and the two of them join forces, they should be able to kill the enemy. As for using the Soul Master's ability to fly, leave here now. At first glance, I thought it was a good idea. But if you think about it carefully, this method doesn't work. Let's not talk about whether it can still fly smoothly with one more person. Even if it can, it will consume a lot of soul power and the speed will be slowed down. Even if Ye Feng flew alone without Su Chanyi, he would not be able to fly all the way back to the school from here. When the journey is long and the soul power is consumed too much, you must rest midway and descend to the ground. There will be a situation where you are flying in the sky and the enemy is chasing you on the ground. Unless you have unlimited soul power and can keep flying, you will definitely be caught eventually. So it doesn't mean that a soul master who can fly with the help of soul soldiers can be invincible under the martial emperor. As long as the enemy's movement speed is faster than the soul master's flying speed, the opponent can follow him all the way. Until the soul power is exhausted and has to come down, that is the time when the soul master will die. Without thinking any more, Ye Feng immediately set off to the nearby cliff. If it is an ordinary forest, there may be no cliffs. Fortunately, the misty forest is located on a mountain range, so you can still find some cliffs. Not long after, Ye Feng came to a nearby cliff. This cliff is nearly 100 meters high and almost vertical. Ye Feng raised his head and glanced above. Soon, his eyes were fixed on a certain place. About 70 or 80 meters above the ground, a cluster of white flowers proudly takes root on the bare cliff. That's the cliff flower. Near the cliff flowers, there are several monkeys. Their hands and feet are agile, like top rock climbers. They firmly grasp some places on the cliff where they can use their strength to climb towards the cliff flowers. That's a cliff monkey. They have strong climbing skills and can come and go freely on vertical cliffs. Occasionally, you will slip up, but it is usually caused by fighting. If you climb well, nothing will happen. Cliff monkeys like to eat cliff flowers very much. If they are the first to eat cliff flowers, the cluster of cliff flowers will definitely become their lunch. Without hesitation, Feng mobilized his soul power and the demon-breaking spear appeared. Call out! The demon-breaking gun turned into a stream of light and shot away quickly. The sharp tip of the spear was suddenly nailed to the edge of the cliff flower bush. The entire bush of cliff flowers, including the flowers and soil, was pried off the cliff and fell freely. Feng, who was standing under the cliff, stretched out his hand to catch the cliff flower steadily. The demon-breaking gun also turned into energy and was taken back into his mind. A set of movements was completed smoothly and quickly, and all the cliff monkeys hanging on it were dumbfounded. Whoa! Whoa! After reacting, he realized that Yawa had been robbed. He immediately screamed strangely and bared his teeth at Feng. Feng ignored them and left with Yawa, returning to Su Chanyi's place. Yawa brought it for you. Feng handed the cliff flower to Su Chanyi. So fast! Su Chanyi was surprised. It felt like Feng had only been away for a short while, but he found him unexpectedly. With Yawa, it should be able to detoxify, right? Feng asked. It should be fine. Su Chanyi nodded and continued, let's change places first. If you stay in one place for a while, you have to change places, otherwise you will be easily tracked by the enemy. The two hit the road again. Sure enough, shortly after the two left, a figure in black robe appeared here. He licked his lips obscenely, drooling everywhere. He really knows how to run. Where did he go? He also continued on the road to track. Feng and Su Chanyi ran a long distance and came to a cave. After making sure it was safe, Su Chanyi began to prepare the antidote. I took out all the dozens of herbs that I had collected. Recall in your mind the detoxification formula you have seen before, and prepare it according to the proportions. After the preparation is completed, part of it is taken internally, and the other part needs to be sprinkled into water for medicinal bathing. Attacking both internally and externally can detoxify quickly. You don't even know what kind of poison you were poisoned with. Are you sure the antidote prepared in this way will work? Feng watched her prepare the whole process and always felt a little unreliable. Could it be that this girl was so ill that she went to the doctor in a hurry? Who said I don't know what kind of poison I was poisoned with? Su Chanyi glanced at Feng, and without stopping, she took part of the antidote and swallowed it in one gulp. You know? Why couldn't you tell me just now? So what kind of poison is it? Feng was curious and asked again and again. Okay, I'm going to take a medicinal bath. Su Chanyi once again changed the topic without saying anything. She walked towards the cave. There is a pool inside, which is not big, just like a bathtub, with clear water. Tick, tick. At the top of the cave, water has been seeping and dripping down into the pool. Because of this small pool was formed over time. Su Chanyi put the antidote into the pool and watched it slowly dissolve. Just as he was about to start taking a medicinal bath, he remembered that there was another person nearby. Are you just going to watch from the side? Su Chanyi looked at Feng and said angrily. I had prepared the medicated bath water and it was ready for soaking, but this guy didn't realize it at all and just stared there blankly. Still want to watch from the side? Aren't you going to watch? If something happens. Feng said. Only when you are here will something happen. Su Chanyi gritted her teeth. I really want to see this guy. I really don't know if this guy is too naive or if he's just too bold. She remembered that when she was running away with Feng in her arms, Feng touched her abdomen. At that time, Feng explained that it was because of insects. Thinking about it now, I always feel that it is not simple. Wait, hit the belly. Why does she feel that this scene is a bit familiar? After thinking about it for a moment, I quickly remembered. During the college entrance examination, she went to Linhai City to invigilate the exam. When she saw Feng, the guy suddenly made a big salute. His movements were extremely exaggerated, and he accidentally touched her abdomen. At that time, I thought this guy was more polite. Now it seems that it is not simple. Twice, is it really just an accident? Su Chanyi began to doubt. He looked at Ye Feng with extremely suspicious eyes. Well, this guy is quite handsome, if... Wait. How could I have such an idea? Stop, stop, stop. Is it because the poison didn't suppress it? You have obviously taken the antidote and it should start to take effect. Why do you feel that it is more difficult to suppress than before? Su Chanyi felt confused. Quickly clear your mind of distracting thoughts, mobilize more energy and blood, and suppress the spread of toxins. Well, then I'll go out and keep watch. If anything happens to you, call me immediately. Ye Feng said and was about to walk outside. Etc. Su Chanyi suddenly shouted, looking at Ye Feng, her eyes were full of fire, and she wanted to knock Ye Feng down. You, what's going on? Ye Feng felt very uncomfortable in his heart. No. It's okay. Su Chanyi's eyes became clear again. You should go out first. I should be fine after I take a medicinal bath. Su Chanyi said. Ye Feng nodded, left the cave, and came to guard outside. Chapter 44. In the cave. Su Chanyi took off her armor, undressed and took off her belt, and pieces of clothing fell off. Straight and slender thighs took steps and stepped into the pool. As the body sank, the water surface rose all the way, and finally reached the neck. The whole person was like this, soaking in the pool. That damn adulterer gave me Hehuan powder and forced me to have fun with him in order to be able to detoxify. Damn you thief, just dream. I will remove the poison right now and prevent you from succeeding. After I detoxify, I will definitely settle the score with you. Su Chanyi gritted her white teeth and said angrily. Time passed by minute. What's going on? As she soaked in the medicinal bath, the restlessness in Su Chanyi's body did not weaken at all. Not only was it useless, it even gradually became stronger, requiring her to use more energy and blood to suppress it. Not good. The toxins in the body suddenly exploded. It was almost suppressed to the limit, but now it suddenly explodes and is finally completely unable to be suppressed. The medicinal power of Hehuan powder is no longer limited to a certain range, but flows to all parts of the body along with the blood. At this moment, Su Chanyi's eyes became blurred, her breathing rate accelerated, her body temperature rose, and she was panting slightly. Outside the cave, Ye Feng suddenly noticed that there were some movements and sounds of unknown meaning coming from the cave. Ye Feng. Ye Feng suddenly heard Su Chanyi calling his name in the cave. You called me. Ye Feng confirmed. Well, come in. Su Chanyi's voice was full of charm. Have you finished taking the medicinal bath? Ye Feng asked. Yes, it's ready. Come in quickly. Her voice was urgent. Oh, okay. Although he felt a little strange, Ye Feng still didn't think much and walked towards the cave. When Ye Feng entered, the scene before him almost made his nose bleed. In the pool, Su Chanyi was soaking in it. The water surface rippled, and the underwater body was looming, twisting like a water snake. The look in Ye Feng's eyes almost made his eyes tremble. Teacher Su, what are you doing? Didn't you say that you've already finished the brewing? Call me in now, how can you? Ye Feng turned around immediately, his mouth felt dry even as he spoke. However, he didn't wait for Ye Feng to finish speaking. The sound of rushing water came from behind, and Su Chanyi's jade hands grabbed Ye Feng's clothes. Caught off guard, Ye Feng became unstable and was dragged into the pool. Su Chanyi used her hands and feet to tightly wrap around Ye Feng. Ye Feng, I can't control it anymore. I can only wrong you. Rather than letting that ugly monster succeed, I might as well follow you. At this time, Ye Feng felt that even the cold pool water could not cool him down. Until now, Ye Feng finally understood what the poison Su Chanyi was poisoned by. No wonder she had always avoided the topic when I asked her what kind of poison she was poisoned with. No wonder, from the moment we first met, I felt that her state was a bit unnatural. Ye Feng was about to say something, but his mouth was blocked. My first time. Wow, wow. In the cave, the sound of rushing water was heard, which kept getting louder and louder. In this process, snap! You opened a blue treasure box, congratulations on getting 12,000 soul power points. The sudden reminder stunned Ye Feng. The blue treasure chest that I had longed for was actually opened in this way? Thinking of the location of the treasure chest, located in the lower abdomen, the feeling is not difficult to understand. Ye Feng couldn't help but remember that when obtaining the wood marrow crystal, he could reach into the tree hole and touch the wood marrow crystal inside and take it out. A total of 12,000 points of soul power. After the fusion, Ye Feng's soul power skyrocketed. From the original 15,000, it skyrocketed to 27,000. And this value happens to be the threshold for king level. In other words, Ye Feng's soul master realm was promoted from the late general level to the early king level in one fell swoop. With this kind of strength, it is completely easy to deal with the enemies in the later stage of King Wu. The cave has become quiet. The two of them had put on their clothes, and Su Chanyi's eyes were clear again, but her face was still extremely red. It was poison before, but now it's a blushing face. Thinking of the process just now, she didn't know how to face Ye Feng. That's when. Hey! I found you! Outside the cave, there was an unpleasant and harsh sound. It's over. I'm stuck in the cave and can't escape. Su Chanyi panicked, look for a second exit. Although the toxin has been removed now, she had consumed too much energy and blood to suppress the toxin, which was very expensive. In this state, there is no way to fight the enemy. Originally, she planned to leave the misty forest first after the poison was removed and her strength recovered, allowing her to run at full speed. I'll have to figure out how to get revenge later. But now, he had just detoxified and was in extremely poor condition, and he was blocked in the cave by the enemy. It is estimated that the enemy will come in from outside soon. Obviously, there is no second exit. Ye Feng said. Inside, you can see all the way to the end. You can tell if there is a second exit at a glance. It's all your fault that it took so long. Su Chanyi complained. Has it become a shortcoming over time? Ye Feng asked back. While he was talking, a man in a black robe walked in from outside. He stuck out his tongue with severely yellow coating and licked his thick lips, saliva drooling everywhere. I smell the smell of herbs. Hey, you think this is ordinary Hehuan powder? Wrong, this is Hehuan powder that has been modified by my magic. Ordinary antidote not only cannot cure it, but will exacerbating the spread of toxins. The man in black robe chuckled, feeling very proud. But soon, his face became distorted. But looking at you now, the toxin should have been lifted. Could it be that the two of you have? You actually went against my wishes, I can't forgive you. The man in black robe's voice was harsh and hoarse, his face was twisted to the extreme, and he looked very crazy. It made his already ugly face even uglier. Hearing what he said, Su Chanyi's face turned cold. No wonder the antidote didn't work, and she even suddenly lost control. It turned out to be like this. This perverted thief is really insidious. Ye Feng, when the fight starts, I will try my best to hold him back. You look for opportunities to escape first, and I will look for opportunities to get rid of him. Su Chanyi looked solemn and whispered to Ye Feng. No, I'm not afraid of him at all. You don't need to take action, just watch from the side. Ye Feng spoke calmly and told the truth. It's now time, so don't be brave, otherwise it will only cause trouble. Listen to me and find an opportunity to run away later. Su Chanyi's tone was serious and she stood in front of Ye Feng to protect her. Naturally, she didn't believe Ye Feng's words. In her opinion, a freshman like Ye Feng, even if he showed good strength during the ring battle, he could only be regarded as good. Putting it in front of King Wu, it was not worth mentioning at all, and he didn't even have a chance to resist. One finger of King Wu could crush him to death. Let him fight? It's no different from sending him to death. You two don't have to fight, I won't let either of you escape. The voice of the conversation between the two was actually very low. The man in black robe did not hear clearly what the two said. But with a casual guess, you can guess that besides discussing escape, what else could they discuss? Anyway, from his point of view at this time, the two of them were just fish on the chopping board, ready to be slaughtered by him. He had already begun to think about what method he would use to torture the two of them later. Just thinking about it made him tremble with excitement, shake like crazy, and make some weird noises of unknown meaning. Okay, I've already figured out how to play with you. Now, let's enjoy it. The man in black robe licked his lips and said extremely evilly. Su Chanyi also became nervous. Although she felt exhausted, she still forcibly mobilized the energy and blood in her body to prepare for battle. It is better to overdraw the body than to stand and wait for death. Moreover, if you fall into the hands of a person with such a perverted personality, even if you die, you will die miserably. Just when Su Chanyi was about to take action, preparing to fight to the death, Call out! The sharp sound of breaking through the air behind him quickly passed by his ears. A blood-red stream of light instantly swallowed up the short distance between the two sides and appeared in front of the man in black robe. This is too fast. It's too unexpected. The man in black robe didn't even have time to react. Only one thought came to his mind: what is this? The death crisis is coming. The blood-red spear pierced through the center of his forehead, and with terrifying power, the entire head was shattered. The remaining power of the spear was not diminished, and it shot straight away, eventually nailing into the cave wall and sinking deeply into it. Receive. The spear stuck deep in the cave wall was turned into energy again and returned to Ye Feng's mind. The headless body of the man in black robe fell straight down. In his hand, he also held a handful of paralysis powder. As long as you are contaminated with this substance and there is no antidote, you will become weak and temporarily paralyzed. It is estimated that it was suddenly thrown over during preparation and combat. He is indeed a vicious guy. Who is it? Who was responsible for the attack just now? Is there someone else in the cave? He is a strong man. Looking at the man in black robe who was instantly killed, Su Chanyi did not move for a long time. She was stunned for a long time before slowly turning around. I want to see who the strong man who took action just now is. Chapter 45. After Su Chanyi turned around, she saw Ye Feng behind her. Apart from that, there is no one else. The one who took action just now was you, Ye Feng. Before turning around, she certainly knew that the possibility of anyone else existing in this cave was very low. But she just couldn't believe it. How could a person who was only at the level of a military commander in her cognition suddenly burst out with such a terrifying attack? The enemy is a real king of martial arts. He is not an ordinary martial king yet, he has reached the late stage of martial king. And they always use some insidious means to make it difficult for people to guard against. Even if he is also a martial king, fighting against this person is extremely dangerous and he may fall into trouble at any time. But such a strong opponent was instantly killed by Ye Feng with one blow in a single encounter. The contrasting impact this brought to Su Chanyi was undoubtedly huge. In just a short period of time, Ye Feng has become so strong. The attack you just performed felt like there were fluctuations in soul power. Are you not only a warrior, but also a soul master? Su Chanyi looked at Ye Feng in surprise. Yes, it's the soul master's attack method. Ye Feng nodded. Your level as a soul master is higher than that of a warrior. I didn't expect you to hide so deeply. If I had known you were so strong, we wouldn't have had to run away in the first place. Oh yes, you probably feel that you don't want to show off your soul master's strength in front of outsiders unless you have to, so that you can use it as a trump card, so you chose to run away in the first place. Don't worry, I won't tell your soul master's secrets. Su Chanyi looked like I understand you and came up with many ideas in succession. I wasn't running just now, it was you who hugged me and ran. Ye Feng smiled and deliberately joked. When Su Chanyi mentioned such relatively intimate words, she thought of what happened between the two of them in the pool just now, and her ears suddenly turned red. Ahem. She coughed lightly to hide her strange look, then you can't say it. Are you so obedient that you can just run away when I take you with me? Which man would refuse to be embraced by a beautiful woman? Ye Feng was still smiling, and his eyes were scanning her body as he spoke. The beautiful scene of white flowers just now seemed to appear before my eyes again. Humph! Pervert! Su Chanyi snorted and refused to talk to Ye Feng. He turned around and looked at the body of the man in black robe. He didn't dare to attack directly, but used a weapon to pull him away. Everything he carried was pulled out. There are dozens of kinds of pills, powders, bottles and cans. What a sinister and vicious pervert! Even though the person is dead now, Su Chanyi is still a little angry. The result of her anger was to whip the corpse and cut a certain vital part of the corpse with a knife. Seeing this, Ye Feng felt his lower body tighten. This woman! If I offend her one day, will she be stabbed like this? I know who he is. Su Chanyi said suddenly. Who? Ye Feng asked. Look at this tattoo. She pointed the knife at the man in black robe's right hand, which had a tattoo on her forearm. It was a bloody hand, stretching out from a dark door frame, as if it was asking for life. Just looking at this pattern gives people an evil feeling. The Bloody Hand Gate. Ye Feng subconsciously said this name. Yes, it's the Blood Hand sect. Since he is a member of the Blood Hand sect, it's not surprising. The Bloody Hand sect is an organization that is extremely evil, with all its members being evil people who take pleasure in doing evil things. They have a notorious record of misdeeds and have committed many heinous crimes. They have long been angry and have been on the wanted list. Murder, looting, etc., are just daily pediatrics for them. What they pursue is extreme evil. Even if they only do one bad thing, they still have to do it in a variety of ways. For example, if someone kills someone, they may be chopped off with a single blow. But they kill people and torture them slowly using various means. This process makes them feel excited and exciting. Those who join this kind of organization have more or less psychological problems, so it is not surprising that they can do such things. By the way, some members of the Blood Hand sect are wanted on the wanted list. Check quickly to see if this guy is on the list. Su Chanyi reminded. The wanted list is set up by the state to specifically target those evildoers who have committed heinous crimes, allowing experts from all over society to help capture or kill them. Whether captured alive or killed, you can get a generous bounty. From this, a profession, bounty hunter, also developed. They have a plan and organization, looking for wanted criminals everywhere, killing them and earning bounties. Of course, while obtaining high returns, you also bear extremely high risks. The people who can be on the list are all evil people, and their strength is not too bad. There are many examples of wanted criminals being killed. Ye Feng used his tactical watch to open a small light screen and started browsing the internet. Enter the wanted website and enter the keyword Blood Hand Gate in the search box. Soon, they were listed in a row. The one who ranked first in the search results was the leader of the Bloody Hand sect. Blood Hand sect master, unknown information and unknown strength. Those who provide information, once confirmed, will be rewarded more than 30 million yuan based on the value of the information, with no upper limit. Kill, reward 4 billion. Capture alive, reward 5 billion. Good guy. Seeing this wanted information, Ye Feng called him a good guy. Just by providing information, you can get a minimum reward of more than 30 million yuan. It can turn a beggar into a rich man in an instant, and he will have no worries about food and drink for the rest of his life. And if they are captured alive or killed, they will have billions in an instant. The reward for catching alive is higher than killing, which is quite understandable. The value of being captured alive is greater, as information can be obtained through interrogation. In addition, when two masters fight against each other, it is actually more difficult to capture them alive. You need to have crushing strength to capture them alive. Otherwise, you will be helpless during the fight, and you may even be killed if you are not careful. Therefore, the bounty looks tempting, but not everyone has the strength to take it. Even the official gave unknown information and unknown strength. This shows that this person is very well hidden, and it is difficult to even find him, let alone capture him alive or kill him. Below the Bloody Hand sect master, there are several senior members of the Bloody Hand sect. The bounties are also very high, basically 100 million, but they are far less high than the Bloody Hand sect master. Ye Feng browsed down. Evil pharmacist, in the late stage of King Wu's strength, he is good at using all kinds of medicines. This person has an ugly face, a distorted mentality, and is extremely sexually promiscuous, suitable for both men and women, kills, 10 million. Captured alive, 12 million. There is a photo attached above, if you can compare it, it is indeed this person. Is this going to make $10 million in vain? To kill such a martial king and pay him 10 million, it seems that the martial king is a bit worthless. After all, a level 4 weapon costs several million. But you can't think of it this way. The bounty is just a reward and an encouragement, not a measure. In fact, for those who have the ability to kill instantly, such as Ye Feng just now, if they kill the opponent with one blow, they can get tens of millions of dollars. Looking at it this way, I feel that it is very profitable. One attack can earn 10 million, which is not a lot. Ye Feng immediately took action. First click to receive the wanted person, and after receiving the wanted list, click Finish. A page pops up where you can upload information. Videos of the fight, photos of the wanted man's body, the location of the body, these are the evidence. Finally, fill in the bounty hunter's own bank account for later distribution of the bounty. Personal information such as bank accounts will be encrypted by the computer system, which means that the relevant person in charge has no way of knowing who the bounty hunter is. The purpose is to protect personal privacy, prevent internal and external collusion, let others find out the specific identity of the bounty hunter, and suffer retaliation from the forces behind the wanted criminal. We will verify the evidence as soon as possible, and if the situation is true, the bounty will be issued to you within 3 days. Chapter 46. Ye Feng swept all the medicine from the evil pharmacist into his backpack. What are you doing with his dirty stuff? Seeing Ye Feng's behavior, Su Chanyi's eyes became strange. Hey hey! Ye Feng did not answer directly, but looked at Su Chanyi, deliberately showing an evil smile. Su Chanyi's heart felt so hairy that she almost had goosebumps. Are you going to do bad things too? Yes, I want to do something bad to you. Ye Feng smiled evilly and walked over step by step. Su Chanyi was so frightened that she backed away. Seeing her reaction, Ye Feng was amused and laughed. I'm not kidding you anymore, these medicines are probably worth a lot since he can carry them with him. There are so many types. I'll take them back to see if there are any that I can use. Ye Feng explained. Su Chanyi rolled her eyes at Ye Feng, almost thinking that a new evil pharmacist was about to be born. Let's go, it's time to go back. The two left the cave. On the road, Ye Feng killed a general-level beast, filled a jar of beast blood with a container prepared before departure, and put it into his backpack. The remaining animal meat was not wasted, and a place was found to make a fire and barbecue. I saw Su Chanyi running her skills, the fire elements in her hands gathered, the temperature gradually increased, and when she pressed her palm on the pile of wood, the flames started to rise. Do you have a fire-type physique or talent? Ye Feng asked curiously. I have SS level physique, fire lotus spirit body. Su Chanyi replied. I see. After the meat was cooked, the two began to eat. The meat of general-level exotic beasts contains a large amount of energy and blood, which can help Su Chanyi recover from her depleted energy and blood quickly. After eating and drinking, the two set out on the road and finally returned to the provincial capital. At the same time, several people came to a certain cave in the misty forest. They are prospectors from the provincial capital and belong to the wanted list department. Their main job is to go to the battle site to survey the situation. This time, I received a notice that the wanted criminal with a high bounty, the evil medicine master, had been killed, so I came over to investigate the specific situation. After several people entered the cave, a headless body appeared in front of them. A lot of skull tissue was scattered nearby, which was obviously caused by the skull exploding. This shows how terrifying the power of the attack at that time was. The person who takes action is extremely powerful. Vomit. A young man in the team almost vomited. He was a new employee who was brought out for internship experience by an old prospector. He had never experienced such a scene before, and he immediately felt physically uncomfortable. Haha, Xiao Li, look at it more and you will get used to it in the future. The old prospectors looked as usual, chatting and laughing. They had experienced too much and had long lost their feelings. Several people began to inspect the scene. The face of the headless corpse cannot be seen, but through other detection methods, it can still be determined that this corpse is the evil pharmacist. The chain of evidence is also sufficient. There is a first-person view of the battle video. They have the technology to identify the authenticity of the video and are not afraid of others making it fake. Through multiple verifications, it can basically be determined that the evil pharmacist was indeed killed. This evil pharmacist has done many evil deeds. Today, a master finally got rid of the harm. It can be said that his evil deeds are rewarded. I don't know who this master is. He can kill the evil pharmacist with one blow. He is so powerful. Maybe it's some big shot in the provincial government. Only they can do this. Several prospectors expressed wonder and talked among themselves. Ye Feng returned to Longteng Academy. The first thing is to go back to the dormitory. Now that he is a senior student, he can move to the inner city. It is a small independent courtyard with 3 rooms and a courtyard. It is much more comfortable to live in than the single-room dormitories on the outside. Ye Feng, are you moving? I saw Ye Feng coming to the dormitory area and taking away some personal items, such as a change of clothes and so on. This scene happened to be seen by He Xiling, so she asked aloud. Yes, I will move to the inner city. Ye Feng replied. The students are all talking about you having become a senior student. I thought it was unbelievable at first, and I was going to confirm it with you, but I didn't expect that you have really become a senior student. He Xiling sounded surprised. Senior student means having 10,000 credits, which is a number of days for the current He Xiling. Unconsciously, the gap between her and Ye Feng was so huge. Then I'll move here first, and you should work hard. When you become a senior student, we can still be neighbors. Ye Feng encouraged. With He Ziling's talent, there will definitely be no problem in becoming a senior student, and he will be faster than most students. Her speed was normal. It could only be said that Ye Feng was cheating. No one could compare to this. Looking at Ye Feng's retreating back, He Ziling's eyes were full of mixed feelings, hiding the love deep in his eyes even deeper. What am I thinking? He Ziling shook his head and put away his distracting thoughts. Ever since she was forced to self-mutilate and disfigure herself, and experienced the deep helplessness, she had sworn that she would only focus on martial arts in this life and not think about other aspects. Yes. I want to become stronger. Keep getting stronger. He Ziling's expression became firm again. After a brief moment of perception, a burst of joy flashed through her, and she felt that the bottleneck in her realm was actually loosened. Ye Feng moved to the inner area and chose a small courtyard to live in. Take out the required materials and start mixing them with nursery soil. After matching according to the proportion, put it in the container and bury the seeds of the mulberry vine in it. You also need to pour 1 liter of animal blood. Ye Feng opened the container and poured the animal blood down. Alien beast blood is very strange. Even if it is at room temperature, it can be stored for a long time and will not solidify. This is good because it needs to be watered once a day, so you don't always have to get fresh water. After doing this, the next step is to wait for it to sprout. At this time, a new treasure chest clue prompt popped up. Treasure box clue, a blue treasure box appears in the star iron mine. Please go and open it after half a month. There's another treasure chest, and it's also blue. But why is there a time condition? The clues this time are different from the previous ones. Due to time conditions, it will take half a month to go there. There must be some reason for this. Perhaps, there may be something special about this place in the Xingguan iron mine. I checked online and couldn't find any more accurate information. Most of them just introduced that star iron ore is a good metal that can be used to refine weapons and armor. Then you can only go to the collection pavilion and look through some classics to see if you can find relevant information. Ye Feng is getting ready to go out. The tactical watch suddenly vibrated. I took a look and saw that someone was calling. It was an unknown number. Chapter 47. Seeing the unfamiliar number dialed, Ye Feng remembered that on the way back, Su Chanyi said that she lost her tactical watch in the misty forest and got a new one when she got back. At that time, she asked Ye Feng's communication number so that she could contact her easily. It should be her. Ye Feng picked it up. Sure enough, Su Chanyi's figure appeared above the light curtain. She had already changed into a set of clothes, she was completely white and clean, and she had probably taken a shower. She felt fragrant just looking at her. The dazzling twin peaks took up half of the screen. Classmate Ye Feng, you have become a senior student, why don't you come over and report to the teacher? She pretended to be a strict teacher, as if she were scolding a disobedient student. Because I'm a little tired. Ye Feng smiled and meant something. It's so good, why are you tired? Su Chanyi's expression was serious. Yeah, why are you tired? Ye Feng deliberately emphasized. There was a hint of uneasiness on Su Chanyi's face, and she said in a panic, come here quickly. Then it hung up directly. Ye Feng happened to be going out, so he went there first. Arriving at the advanced student teaching area, Su Chanyi had just finished answering a cultivation question raised by a student. Seeing Ye Feng arriving, she cleared her throat. Students, there is a new student joining our class today. He should be familiar to you. Then he looked at Ye Feng and introduced, he is the new student, Ye Feng. Come and say hello to everyone. Ye Feng walked near Su Chanyi, faced the classmates below, and said politely, hello everyone, I am Ye Feng, please take care of me in the future. Su Chanyi's eyelids jumped when she heard this. You are so humble. Even though he, the mighty king of martial arts and the senior tutor of Longteng Academy, can't beat him, this guy still wants to take care of him. Bang bang bang. The students in the audience applauded to express their welcome and whispered. In just a short period of time, I became a senior student. It's too fast. Maybe it's because he was pretty good before. For example, when he took the college entrance examination, he already had the strength of a military commander. That's why he's so fast now. It makes sense. This is more acceptable. Otherwise, it would be outrageous to have made so much progress in a short period of time. The students present here are all top-notch students who are able to gather here. There are many top scorers in the college entrance examination in each city. They are arrogant and find it difficult to accept that the genius themselves have been crushed so much by another genius. I had to find a reason to forcefully convince myself that the other party was not that exaggerated. Ye Feng, if you encounter problems in cultivation in the future, feel free to ask me to avoid delaying the cultivation process. Su Chanyi deliberately joked to Ye Feng. Of course she knew that with Ye Feng's current strength, there was no need to ask her for advice. Can I go to the tutor's dormitory for one-on-one tutoring? Ye Feng blinked and asked with a smirk on his face. Of course. Subconsciously, he was about to say yes. He quickly thought of something and noticed Ye Feng's evil smile. Su Chanyi glanced at Ye Feng angrily and winked wildly. In class, with so many people watching, this guy still does this. Teacher Su, what's going on? Why does it feel a little weird? I don't know, maybe I'm not satisfied with what Ye Feng said. There's nothing wrong with what he said, right? I remember that many students encountered some emergencies before and went to Teacher Su's residence to ask her for advice. She didn't say much at the time and answered them very seriously. This scene made the students very confused. Teacher Su, I have something else to do and would like to take leave. Another word from Ye Feng once again confused the students. I just joined, and I am probably the weakest in the class. Now I don't pay attention to the class, and I actually asked for leave in the middle of the class. He's finished. He became a student of Instructor Su, but he didn't investigate her temper properly. This has violated a taboo. The students shook their heads. Because they knew that Su Chanyi was famous for hating others leaving midway. If you want to ask for leave, you can, then just ask for it and don't come to this class at all. But once you came, halfway through the course, you suddenly said that you had something to do and you had to leave. Su Chanyi was very disgusted with this. Even those old students with outstanding abilities dare not mention even a word and want to leave midway unless they have no choice. Once you mention it without giving enough reasons, you will definitely be severely punished. The old students didn't dare to mention it, but Ye Feng, a new student, actually said it openly without even giving a specific reason. This kind of something happened excuse is easy to prevaricate as soon as you hear it. It's true that newborn calves are not afraid of tigers. However, the next moment, something shocking happened. Well, if you have anything to do, go ahead and get busy. Su Chanyi had a gentle smile on her face, as gentle as she wanted. Nanny. Everyone's mouths opened wide, and their minds could hardly turn around. Until he came back to his senses, Ye Feng had already left. Looking at Su Chanyi again, she was not angry at all, everything was as usual. Could it be that Teacher Su is no longer taboo about quitting the job midway? Students, let's continue class. Su Chanyi said on the stage. The old students winked at each other and decided to send a representative to verify their suspicions. Teacher Su, I also have something to do and would like to take leave. A top student in the class raised his hand to ask Su Chanyi for instructions. Su Chanyi, who was giving a lecture, had a serious look on her face. What is it specifically? The old students felt a little bit in their hearts and had an ominous premonition. The top student couldn't think of a good reason and hesitated. Humph. How many times have I told you, I hate people who quit midway. As a student, it is the golden period of hard training. If I don't listen to the lectures carefully and strive to become stronger quickly, but I still ask for leave and leave, it really wastes my life. Hard work. Go out and run 5,000 laps around the school. Su Chanyi punished her. Top students are miserable. This is Longteng Academy. It covers a very large area. Even if the generals have good speed and physique, it will be very tiring after 5,000 laps. Teacher, you are partial. For the same reason, Ye Feng can leave, but I can't and will be punished corporally, he argued. Can it be the same? When you no longer need to attend classes, you can leave at any time without even saying hello to me. Su Chanyi said seriously. If he's just more talented and progresses faster, why doesn't he have to attend classes? The old student muttered dissatisfiedly, but did not dare to confront him loudly. Because he knew that if he said a few more words, not only would he not be able to change anything, but he would even have to increase the amount of corporal punishment. What else can be done? The partiality was so obvious that he had no choice but to admit defeat and go running honestly. Ye Feng came to the collection pavilion. After becoming a senior student, you can enter the third level. On the third floor, there are many classics recording various events. Although today's technology can store data in chips, the habit of recording in books has always been retained. Especially for some more important information, people prefer to use paper as a carrier. As long as it is properly kept, it can be stored for a long time. Feng began to search for information about the star pattern iron mine. After a while, I finally found it. It also made Feng understand why it took half a month to open this treasure chest. Chapter 48. Star pattern iron can only be produced in one place, which is the secret realm of treasure mines. There are a large number of minerals in this secret realm, and star pattern iron is one of them. When people find star iron mines, they can dig out star iron minerals. After melting, they become star iron. As for why it takes half a month to go there, it's because the treasure mine secret realm is rather strange, and the teleportation entrance to the secret realm does not exist at all times. It fades in and out, appears periodically, and then turns off again. It will be closed for about a month at a time, and then open for about 10 days, and so on. It will take half a month until the next opening. Therefore, the clues to the treasure chest will only show up, and we will set off half a month later. Now that we have gone, we cannot enter the secret realm. In this half month, you should treat it as a rest. There is no need to be idle. You can study how to raise goo insects and how to deal with the Zhang family. Feng did not forget that the Zhang family also had a red treasure box waiting for him to open, and a god-eating moss seedling waiting for him to pick it up. Only by knowing ourselves and our enemies can we make better action plans. I have arrows to guide me. You don't have to work hard to find it when the time comes. Just follow the arrows and you will eventually arrive. Only. Feng looked at the book again, and there was this sentence on it: after years of development, people have clearly realized the value of the secret treasure mine. Many of the mineral veins in it are occupied by major forces. They spend manpower and material resources to mine minerals inside and then transport them out, forming a huge industrial chain. Feng didn't know whether the star-patterned iron mine where the treasure chest was located had an owner. He would only know when he went there. Time passes. 2 days later. Feng, who was in the dormitory, suddenly received a transfer reminder. You received a transfer in the amount of 10 million yuan, and the current balance is 15,800,000 yuan from the bounty list headquarters. It's the wanted bounty I received from killing the evil pharmacist. Feng's original more than 5 million was due to his excellent performance in the college entrance examination, which brought huge benefits to the 10th Martial Arts High School. The school rewarded him with 5 million, and the other 800,000 was earned from selling things later. In one fell swoop, Feng's assets doubled several times, reaching a net worth of over 10 million. It seems like you can make money pretty quickly this way. However, the whereabouts of people on the wanted list are very secretive, and it is not that easy to find them. Whether you can make a windfall depends on whether you are lucky. If you are lucky, another fat fish will be another huge income. Don't think about this for now. Feng looked at the seedling pot and saw that the soil was a little dry. The animal blood hasn't been poured out today yet. Feng took out the animal blood and poured 1 liter of animal blood into the seedling pot. Water once a day, and the seedling soil will be dry the next day, probably all absorbed by the seeds. Feng hopes that the seeds will sprout and grow quickly. Then he was not idle and took out several more utensils. The vessel is a goo plate, and there are many small bugs in it. Goo plates and bugs were all bought with money in the past 2 days. They are just relatively basic things and are not expensive. I bought a lot for just 10,000 yuan. The really expensive ones are the more advanced and rare bugs, as well as the goo bugs that have been cultivated to maturity. At the current stage, Feng can't use those for the time being. Practice brings out the truth. It is difficult to learn how to raise voodoo just by reading detailed explanation of raising goo. Only by watching and experimenting can you make rapid progress. In the goo trays number 1 to number 3, all the goo insects have been wiped out. In the goo trays number 4 to number 6, it is better. The plan needs to be adjusted again, and the amount of poisonous food fed needs to be reduced. Feng concluded. For the time being, try raising poisonous insects. The insects themselves contain toxins, and then feed them poisonous food to make them more poisonous. The amount of poisonous food must be controlled well, otherwise it will easily happen that all the insects will die. When my skills in cultivating poisonous insects become stronger, I will be able to cultivate high-level poisonous insects in the future. Some of the poisons I collected from the evil pharmacist will come in handy. Ye Feng said secretly. As for now, the level of poisonous insects is too low and they cannot withstand poisons that are too poisonous. No matter how diluted it is, it will definitely die if fed. Another 8 days passed. At this time, Ye Feng opened his palms, and a 10 cm long small ivy twisted in Ye Feng's palm, like a small caterpillar. It is Yunsang Veen. After a total of 10 days, it finally grew into a seedling and Lingzi was born. It could leave the nursery soil and survive without soil, and it could still move. Ye Feng circulated his energy and blood, forced out the blood from his fingertips, and used a cup to collect nearly 200 milliliters. Smelling the smell of blood, little Yun Sang-teng was like a cat smelling fish, and immediately jumped into the cup, soaked in the blood, and greedily absorbed it. Mu Bufen's diary records that after the seeds grow into ivy, spiritual wisdom is born. If it can move, use your own blood to let it absorb, so that you can recognize its owner. As for the seed form, the animal blood watered by it is only absorbed by it as nutrients, which has no effect. Once the demonized plant recognizes its owner, it will be absolutely loyal and will not betray its owner again, so this step of recognizing its owner is very important. Yunsang Vine greedily absorbs it, and the speed of blood visible to the naked eye decreases. Until finally, it absorbs all the blood, and the color of the body surface becomes green with red, which seems to be really full. Somehow, Ye Feng felt that a bond had been established between him and Yun Sang-teng. Owner. It seems that I can still feel the words expressed by Yun Sang-teng. Of course, this does not mean that Yun Sang-vine can speak, but that it can establish a master-servant relationship and be able to feel the other person's thoughts and emotions through body movements. They are all just relatively simple ideas. They have just given birth to spiritual intelligence and their spiritual intelligence is relatively low. Can you be a little bigger now? Ye Feng tried to say. After receiving the order, the Yunsang vine immediately began to grow in size, and finally stopped growing to nearly 1 meter. It seems that it can only reach this level now. But it doesn't matter, as long as there are enough nutrients, it will grow very quickly. For example, it still likes animal blood and wood marrow crystals, so you can continue to feed it. There are also other types of nutrients. As long as Yunsang vine likes it, Ye Feng is ready to get more of it so that it can absorb and grow to its heart's content. Time passed, and 5 days passed in the blink of an eye. After 5 days of eating and drinking, the vine has doubled in length and has grown to 2 meters, growing very fast. Unable to help Ye Feng for the time being, Ye Feng made it smaller, wrapped around his upper arm, and was covered up by his clothes. It's time to find the treasure chest. Half a month has passed. The treasure mine secret realm is open today. You can enter it, go to the location of the blue treasure chest, and open the treasure chest. Ye Feng prepared his equipment and went out. After leaving the school gate and passing by the playground outside, it was very noisy and there were many students gathered around. The smell of blood was also very strong, permeating the surrounding air. What happened? Ye Feng was confused and squeezed past. Chapter 49. Ye Feng approached, and a bloody picture appeared in front of Ye Feng. They saw a person lying on the ground. A large hole was opened in his abdomen. All the internal organs inside were missing. He had obviously been hollowed out. His limbs had also been cut off, and he died in a miserable state. Looking at his face again, even though it was stained red with blood, Ye Feng recognized it at a glance. Zhao Ming. The person who died in such a tragic situation was actually Zhao Ming. Speaking of which, Zhao Ming was the biggest beneficiary when his grades were dropped. Ye Feng also wanted to take revenge on him, but later he was busy improving his strength and put the matter on hold. In a short period of time, he had grown up to the point where he could kill King Wu instantly, and little people like Zhao Ming were no longer looked down upon by Ye Feng at all. Unexpectedly, he died so tragically suddenly. Who did it? Ye Feng was confused. The students around him were also confused. So cruel. Who did it? You dare to kill our students from Longteng Academy and dump their bodies here. How arrogant. The students around were scared and angry. At this time, several instructors hurried over, including Su Chanyi. Seeing that Ye Feng was also present, she simply asked Ye Feng, "We received a report from a student that classmate Zhao Ming died tragically in the playground outside. Do you know what happened?" Ye Feng shook his head, "I just wanted to go out and passed by here. I didn't know clearly." After getting this answer, she had to ask others. Most people also don't know the situation. We discovered it first. When we found it, the body was here. Several people stood up. The body lacks internal organs and some limbs. This is definitely not the scene of a murder, so someone must have moved the body here. Check the monitoring. One of the instructors had already started to contact the surveillance room, and soon the surveillance footage was transmitted. Everyone watches the scene. Suddenly, it was early in the morning and there was no one on the playground outside. Suddenly, from the edge of the surveillance screen, something flew past quickly and finally hit the ground. It's none other than Zhao Ming's corpse. The location of the landing point is indeed here. The murderer deliberately avoided the surveillance footage and threw the body from a distance. The other party should also know that Zhao Ming is a student of Longteng Academy. But, why did the other party do this? Yes, if it is just to kill Zhao Ming, you can throw the body elsewhere. I think the murderer's behavior should be a deliberate provocation. You mean, he is targeting our Longteng Academy? Yes, it's very possible. If this is the case, then you have to be careful next. Let's report the matter quickly and let people start investigating. At the same time, let the students try not to go out in the near future. Humph. We must find the murderer and let him know that our Longteng Academy is not a vegetarian. Each of the instructors explained the situation in one sentence and felt dignified and angry. The students' expressions were even more ugly, fearing that they would be the next ones to be disemboweled. Did you hear everything? Go to school quickly and don't come out without first hand. Yes. They all cherished their lives and went to the school without any explanation. That student, where do you want to go? Go back to school quickly. There was one person who was still going his own way, walking far away. It seemed that he was leaving the school and going somewhere else. Immediately, the instructor shouted. Me. Ye Feng turned around. Who else is it if it's not you? Come back quickly. The instructor said. I'm in a hurry and have to go out. Ye Feng said. Teacher Su, isn't this your student? Take care of it quickly. Other instructors advised Su Chanyi. Su Chanyi was speechless for a moment, she couldn't control Ye Feng. If she dared to say more than a few words, she would be teased in turn. This guy often teased her regardless of the occasion, and several times he almost let others see the problem. Do you really want to go out? Su Chanyi confirmed. Yeah. Ye Feng nodded. Then pay attention to safety. Su Chanyi said. Ye Feng left, gradually going away. People around. Are you crazy? The murderer hasn't been investigated yet. The murderer's intentions, specific strength and number of people, are all unclear. You just let him leave like this. Both the tutor and the students were all in disbelief. I can't help it. I can't control this bad student. Su Chanyi spread her hands and emphasized in a low voice, yes, he is very bad. Teacher Su is still partial to Ye Feng, but this time it's a little skewed. The student named Su Chanyi murmured. Ye Feng left the school and followed the arrow. What happened just now had little impact on Ye Feng. However, he also had an extra thought. Maybe there really was a force that was causing trouble against Longteng Academy. Next, it depends on how the senior officials of the school investigate this matter, and then there may be results. They can just worry about this. With Ye Feng's current strength, he still has some ability to protect himself. He just needs to be more vigilant when walking outside, and it will not affect his search for treasure chests. Opening this treasure chest will increase your strength again. When you are strong enough, go to the Zhang family and look for the red treasure chest and the god-eating moss. Ye Feng's current strength is not enough to compete with the Zhang family, and he has no ability. He sneaked into the Zhang family's mansion without anyone noticing and took away the things inside. Strength, we still need to improve our strength. Ye Feng quickened his pace. Today's top speed. Using only the basic speed of a Qi blood warrior, the speed is about 270 meters per second. If you use the Soul Master's ability, it will be much faster, with a maximum speed of almost 810 meters per second. Coming and going is like a gust of wind, no need to take special transportation. Although it is impossible to maintain it all the time, rushing at the extreme speed will make you panic. But even if he walks slowly, his speed is still very fast. After traveling for a while, Ye Feng finally arrived at the secret realm of the treasure mine. The entrance to the secret realm is located on a piece of Gobi Desert. There are so many people. Ye Feng found that there were a lot of people coming and going, and they were all going in and out of the secret realm in groups. If you think about it for a moment, it's not difficult to understand. The secret realm is opened at intervals. Every time it is closed for 1 month, it will be open for 10 days. Today is the first day it is open, so there must be a lot of people. These people are probably from families and forces. They have some mineral vein industries in the secret realm, and they have employees working in them. During the month when the secret realm is closed, employees can stay inside, but there is no way to leave the secret realm. After a month, a lot was dug, and people were arranged to come and transport the minerals dug out this month. Ye Feng followed the crowd and approached the entrance of the secret realm. Similar to entering the green secret realm before, a strong suction force acted on Ye Feng. Soon, Ye Feng was sucked into it. After a wonderful teleportation process, when he could see the surrounding scenery clearly again, Ye Feng had appeared in the secret realm. Looking around, there are no plants, and there are sand and stones everywhere. Even the forest-like scenery in the distance is just composed of stone pillars, called a stone forest. Ye Feng follows the arrow. Finally, we came to a mountain. This is it. Chapter 50. This mountain is also bare, not covered with lush vegetation like the outside world. It is very characteristic of this secret place, and the main thing is that there is no grass growing. To put it nicely, it's a mountain, to put it worst, it's just a huge rock. Ye Feng did not approach. Hiding behind a certain stone several meters high, observing from a distance. There is a cave in the middle of the mountain over there. The traces of the excavation are obvious, so it must have been dug by humans. On the left and right sides of the cave, there is a gatekeeper standing on each side. There were 2 men wearing armor and carrying long knives at their waists, acting as guards, chatting and alerting them to the surroundings. A month has passed and the secret realm is open today. I think the family will send someone over quickly to transport away the minerals accumulated here. I have been looking forward to this day for a long time. When someone comes to take over, I will go to Yexiangju in the evening to have a good time. Damn, I stay here every day and it seems like there are rocks everywhere. I am tired of seeing it. Yexiangju, haha, we are of the same kind. Why, you go there often too. Then I'm sure, after all the hard work, the boss can still wrong the second brother. That's that makes sense. Speaking of this, both of them laughed lustfully. Who are you? The 2 of them suddenly noticed that a person was approaching from a distance and immediately shouted loudly. However, the man did not answer and continued to approach. Boy! This is the property of the Zhang family. If you dare to take a step closer, you will lose your life. The man on the left shouted. Both of them drew their long knives simultaneously. Is it really the Zhang family? The person approaching at this time was Ye Feng. He raised his brows and became energetic. The arrow leads all the way into the cave, and you can only enter from this cave. I just saw from a distance that the 2 gatekeepers had an identity badge hanging on their waist, with the word engraved on it. Those who killed Zhang Mingxian that day, and later searched their bodies, Ye Feng also discovered that they had similar waistbands on them. These big families, with their strong backgrounds, like to show their identity very much. It is a sign of pride and can also intimidate Xiao Xiao. Many people with insufficient strength, seeing such status and background, have long since withdrawn themselves and do not dare to cause trouble at all. The moment he saw the waist card, Ye Feng guessed that this mineral vein belonged to the Zhang family. As expected, it was really from the Zhang family. It's really a narrow road between enemies. Go! Kill him! The 2 men had ferocious faces, wielding their long knives and slashing at Ye Feng. After staying in this ungrateful place for a long time, the 2 of them were already in a bad mood, and one of them was looking for death, so it was just a good time to vent. However, the next moment, the sword light flashed away. There was a clear sound of metal breaking, the 2 men's secondary swords broke simultaneously, and their body movements stopped. The 2 people who were only in the martial arts realm had their eyes widened and full of fear. A clear line of blood quickly appeared in their throats and they fell straight down. Bang! Bang! Ye Feng stepped on the tactical watches they were wearing on their wrists, crushing them to pieces with no chance of recovery. The purpose is very simple, to prevent them from turning on video recording just now and filming themselves. He doesn't have the strength yet and is facing the Zhang family head-on, so it is necessary to hide his identity. Although this operation was not mentioned in the previous battles, Ye Feng always did it by the way, either taking away their tactical watches, or destroying them without leaving any evidence. Ye Feng continued to walk into the cave. Entering the cave, there is a long main mine tunnel that can accommodate at least several people walking side by side. All the way down. There are also some small mining tunnels branching off to the left and right, and the clanking sound of mining can be heard. Perhaps due to the sound of fighting outside just now, a group of people rushed out of a certain mine tunnel, rushing outside to check the situation. Unexpectedly, he ran into Ye Feng halfway. "Who are you? How dare you trespass on my Zhang family's mines?" There were 5 people in the team, and the leader was a strong man with an unshaven beard. He suddenly shouted and displayed his weapons. "Who is it? Haha, I'm here to take your lives." Ye Feng sneered. "They are just 5 martial masters and can be destroyed easily. Looking for death? Go ahead. Kill him." The 5 people rushed towards Ye Feng with murderous intent. The shadow of the knife flew in Ye Feng's hand, and he struck several times on the 5 people. "Ah!" Several people screamed and fell down quickly. Because of the movement here, everyone in the mine tunnel was basically aware of it. Temporarily put down the pickaxe at hand, put on their weapons, and rush out of the mine tunnels. Their strength is basically around the martial arts level. It poses no threat to Ye Feng at all. Ye Feng is only doing one thing, following the arrow. Wherever it passes, people block and kill people, and whoever comes will die. Quick! Go call some guards. The enemy is too strong. The remaining remnants were defeated and retreated continuously. The guards they refer to are the 3 top executives here, who are the strongest and play the role of guarding the mineral veins. "How brave! How dare you break into my Zhang family's mines? Kill people from my Zhang family. No matter which family you belong to, if you dare to offend my Zhang family, you will definitely die a hard death." The main guard Zhang Fei, together with 2 deputy guards, came out of a cave and quickly approached Ye Feng. Zhang Fei has reached the peak of his military rank, and the 2 deputy guards accompanying him are also at the late stage of his military career. Great! The 3 guards are here. The 3 guards are all military generals, and the opponent is probably only a military general. 3 against 1, we can easily win. Humph! After killing so many of us, when we capture him, we must twitch and skin him. You must be tortured severely, otherwise it will be difficult to get rid of the hatred in your heart. Seeing the 3 guards coming over, the people who were originally howling and screaming after being killed by Ye Feng suddenly found the backbone. They were no longer afraid and their expressions calmed down. There was no need to retreat and escape. The eyes looking at Ye Feng seemed to be watching. A dying man. Guardian? General. Ye Feng smiled. Not to mention generals, even King Wu, killing is like chopping melons and vegetables. Go. Destroy him first. Then interrogate him slowly. Zhang Fei took the lead, followed by the other 2, and 3 guards, charging towards Ye Feng with great momentum. The other members of the martial arts realm, to show their loyalty and because the guards took the lead, emboldened them, actually launched a charge accordingly. Facing several people charging towards him, Ye Feng raised the corner of his mouth. Condensation. The demon-breaking spear appeared. What's this? Everyone was shocked. Boo-hoo-hoo. They couldn't help but think too much. After the demon-breaking spear appeared, it turned into a purple-black stream of light and shot away quickly. At the last moment of their lives, what they saw was such a stream of light, which instantly pierced their chests. They lowered their heads slowly, and there was a huge hole in their chest. Receive. He put away the magic-breaking gun again. There are no more survivors inside the mine. Ye Feng finally came to a cave. It is a guarded place for resting and is also used for storing minerals. After a month, there was a mountain-like pile of ore inside, which was worth a lot of money. And on the ore pile, a treasure box emitting blue light was quietly placed there. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so you are notified of future uploads. You can find the next parts in the playlist visible on the screen or on my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.